The presentation of the colors is brought to you by the United States Coast Guard.
Chief's mess, attend, hut!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Daphne High School, its campus is only 4.7 miles away from where we're at here tonight in Spanish Fort. It might not be a region game, but it's certainly a rivalry between these two schools. 6 state championships between them, and it's a battle here on the Eastern Shore tonight. Daphne at Spanish Fort here tonight on the Hill.
This is Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals, presented by Sonic.
As rivalries go, this one isn't the oldest one on the Eastern Shore, but it's certainly one of the most heated. It's Spanish Fort playing host to the Daphne Trojans here tonight in a non-region matchup, but it is a game that both of these schools want very badly. Good evening, I'm Jim Cox, my partner Dan Brennan here tonight at Spanish Fort, where the Toros come in at 2-3, but all 3 of those losses have come at the hands of teams that are currently undefeated against a Daphne team who lost their first 2 games of the season. Now they've run off 3 in a row. But boy, we talked about in the pregame show, talk about 2 teams that have known each other since they were all this tall. This is it.
It happened on the pregame show, and so we got a sense of that. Also down on the field itself, it's different. Tonight is kind of different, and it really it's all about the rivalry and the knowledge that both teams have about each other.
Yeah, Daphne, if your coach is Kenny King, you know defense is going to be a huge part of what you hang your hat on, and that defensive line as well. Daphne loves to get pressure, but it's one thing to get pressure, but if you can do it with your front 3 like they can, you can change the game around up there.
Hey, he's one of our favorite football names of all time, Johnny Purdue, 6'1", 295, strong, very active. This Daphne front, Purdue and others, will bring pressure. That's their M.O., and you can count on it.
And they want to get pressure on the quarterback from Spanish Fort as Braden Walker, coming off probably his best game of the season last week, especially when you look at who they played, that undefeated Theodore team. Threw for 2 touchdowns, 150 yards. He's going to have to be big tonight.
Yeah, I agree with that. Walker, probably a lot of the things that he's going to be asked to do, Jim, are going to be quick, and that's, again, because of Daphne's pressure. No time for, to 7 or 8 seconds to survey the field. That's not going to happen tonight. So, Walker, get it out to your playmakers. Godfrey's a good one, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's homecoming here tonight at Spanish Fort. And again, these 2 teams, 6 state championships between them that they love to do battle. They've been doing it since they were playing back in Park Ball. We'll kick this one off coming up. But first, this message from the City of Mobile and their Kindness Counts campaign. Friday Night Rivals tonight here on the Eastern Shore. Spanish Fort playing host to Daphne, non-region week for most teams this week as we get ready to watch the coin toss here to see who will start on offense. And Mike Beckton, our referee. Coin toss brought to you by the Mobile County Sheriff's Department. And looks like the Toros have won the toss, and they have deferred, so they'll get the ball to start the second half. Daphne will go on offense first, and let's welcome in Heather Healy down on the sidelines. Hey, Heather.
Hey guys, good evening. In the last 10 meetings between these two teams, the Toros, they have won 8 of them, and they're hoping to use this home field advantage to get win number 9, to get that back in the win column for the home field advantage to make win number 9 after falling to 2 undefeated teams the past couple weeks. But for Daphne, it's the exact opposite. After having an 0-2 start to their season, they're now winning 3 games in a row. Only 6.5 miles separates between these two teams. Players on both sides, they know each other very well, to say the least, making this rivalry just a little bit more intense. Tonight we're going to see who wants a dub even more, guys.
Both of these coaches bringing the intensity as well. Kenny King there, you just saw Chase Smith in his first year as the head coach here in the Toros. Kenny King in his 7th year here at Daphne. Of course, high school star at Daphne, went on to Alabama and played in the NFL as well. But there was no Spanish Fort High School when he was back at Daphne. And Lucas Bro ready to kick off here for the Toros, place they call the Hill. High kick will chase Cam Long back deep to about the 10, the 11-yard line is where we will see the Daphne offense coming out, averaging 25 points a game. And they are predominantly run-focused football team. Nick Clark was our guest in the pregame show, and Kenny King was real simple. He said, if we're going to do big things, it's going through 45's hands.
Yeah, 45 is, he's like you were saying on the pregame show, where do you hit him, right? Thick, tough, athletic, good player.
Gabe Reynolds, starting quarterback, 1 TD on the year. Daphne's only turned the ball over 3 times all year offensively, so they've done a good job at taking care of the football. Spanish Fort defense giving up 22 a game, and now quick out. Reynolds able to get that one quickly off Blackshear, but not much doing after the catch. 18th catch of the season for Stephon Blackshear. He'll run the ball some as well. Reynolds, the quarterback, and we talked about Clark, 430 yards on the year. McAdams, Donahoe, Walker, Luna, and Brown up front. Willoughby, Blackshear, and Boykin on the outside. Davis, another favorite target, but Nick Clark is Gabe Reynolds' best option on offensively thus far. Fires this one out, and he's looking to go to Stacy Boykins this time. Boykins with 10 catches on the year. He's got the 1 touchdown reception from Reynolds, but that one incomplete. And a 3rd down coming up. Daphne's defense, McConaughey, Williams, Freeman, and Lee. Walton, Baggett, and Leach, the linebackers. Kyer, Hickson, Hopkins, and Tucker Shirley in the secondary. 3rd and 7. Boy, you'd like to get a first down, give yourself a little breathing room at least here. You're pinned back up by the Toros Fieldhouse.
Yeah, field position right now. Just get one at least.
Clark has yet to touch it on the opening drive. Now they want to get a little screen to him out the far side. They do. And Clark able to turn it up, and he's going to have the first down and more across the 20 out to about the 26-yard line. A USA Health System's first down. You can see why they like to get it in his hands.
Yeah, I was talking to Clark, and I said, you knew Braden Walker when he was little. He said, yeah. And Walker said, Clark was never little. So he's kind of short, but he's very...
over 200 pounds.
Yeah, strongly built and knows how to use it on a football field.
Got out to the 26-yard line, and fresh set of downs, and now they'll pitch it to Clark coming to the near side, then cuts it back up to the inside, and he'll get 5. Before he's brought down by Walton.
5'8", 200 pounds in high school football, Jim. That is a big, strong back.
And he's a back who loves to go north and south.
He does.
Quickly with the cut.
But he's got that cut. He's got enough to not directly north and south. He can make a play.
Gets 5 there. On first down, a little play action this time. They want to throw it up to him, and there's some contact. That was going to be caught as interception, but there's going to be a pass interference on that one, as that one was up in the air, and JoJo Hickson came up with the pick, but as that ball was in the air, there was contact at the 43-yard line.
Well, the safety was deep. I'm not sure it was the right play anyway. I'd have to see it again, but either the feet got tangled or there was indeed an interference, and that's what the call is going to be against Spanish Fort. Watch the receiver.
Yeah, bottom
right
of your
there.
screen here.
I think there's some contact there for sure.
Yeah, Kyer was battling there, and Reynolds certainly wasn't expecting his receiver to go down on that one. But it was early contact. I'm not sure if the ball was even quite out yet.
It was early. Daphne playing very well. 3 straight wins.
Yeah, certainly called defensive holding, saying before the ball was in the air.
Yeah, good call.
Still give you the first down. But
holding on the defense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Play result.
Mike Beckton, our referee, with the call here. So only a 5-yard penalty, but it is a automatic first down. Would have got the line to gain anyway. And Chase Smith, Spanish Fort coach, that play happened right in front of him and the Toros. Reynolds fires this one incomplete. Had some time and was looking to go to Blackshear. Kyer, who was guilty of that hold on the last play, was back there against Blackshear. See Daphne trying to establish a little bit of a passing game early in this one here tonight.
A little surprised by this, but so Gabe a year ago was the quarterback at Saraland, had a really good season.
Yep. 2nd and 10. Now they'll bring in Michael Scott and move Clark to the fullback to block for him, and he's going to be hit by 2 Toros on the far side, just right at the sticks. JoJo Hickson was over there, so Clark up to fullback, and then Willie Anderson comes over and wraps him up, but Hickson, the safety, hitting like a safety on that one. Really no gain, so 3rd and 10 on this opening drive for the Daphne Trojans. Pressure, Reynolds scrambling, and has to be brought down for a loss. Urel Williams with the sack. And you see that big front, 6'2", almost 300 pounds, but Williams able to grab Reynolds from behind.
Yeah, he's trying to leave the scene of the crime here. He's just trying to scoot out of there. Suddenly, flat tire. His trip is over, and that's that aggressive and very athletic Spanish Fort defense.
Beard on the kick. Godfrey and Nemo Hickson back deep. Great kick. Fair catch called for at the 21 by Jake Godfrey. So Daphne's defense forces the punt on the first possession of this one. Still a couple of good first down pickups by Daphne to flip the field a little bit.
Yeah,
that and 3rd down.
Coach Smith from Spanish Fort giving us an education on the importance of field position as well.
Dan talked about Braden Walker in the pregame. Had his best game last week. A couple of touchdowns, 15 of 23 for 150 yards against a really good Theodore team on the year. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 548 yards. He's 47 of 96. And he talked about it on a pregame show. He said, yeah, I know it's a big deal to be the quarterback. It's a big deal to be the quarterback here at Spanish Fort.
Yeah, first year to do that, and you can see midseason he's really beginning to get it.
He's got Nemo Hickson in the backfield with him, and Hickson hit at the line of scrimmage, and nothing doing there's Jamari Evans able to make the stop right at the line of scrimmage. The Spanish Fort offense, 26 points a game. Lost last week to Theodore, 29-21. Jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Walker, the quarterback. Wilson in the backfield. We'll see Wilson back there. We'll see Hickson. Godfrey, the without a doubt, the guy they want to get it to on the outside. Jackson and Sullivan. Passarelli, the tight end, will get it as well. White, Dolan, Blackman, Babs back in the lineup. And Blake Smith for the Toros. Walker, all kinds of time, just a 3-man rush. Now he scrambles back and heaves it up in the air and just throws that one away. His pressure was there by Tyler Durant, and also giving chase, Johnny Purdue.
Yeah, Walker figured out, wow, I'm not going to get the edge here. I'm going to have to just get rid of it.
This defense for Daphne giving up 21 a game. They've got 3 interceptions, 2 pick sixes on the year, including one last week, and 7 sacks. Rayner, Durant, and Purdue get after him. Linebackers Long, who moved up from the secondary. Childress, Evans, and Gibson. Myers, Woodard, Chews, and Island. Elijah Myers had a pick 6 last year, 82 yards. Took it to the house in the final minutes of that game to seal that victory against. Falling down up to the 26 to seal that victory last week as they knocked off Baker, a region win. And Hickson might have had a little something going there if he doesn't trip up, Dan.
I think he does. He had the wide receivers on the outside were making some good blocks, and he just kind of, the rug came out from under him, and Spanish Fort's going to punt without a first down.
See, both teams going to the air attack in the first drive.
A little surprising, right?
Yep. Cam Long. Passarelli stands to punt at about the 11. Low snap. Good handle by Passarelli. And just a line drive that bounces, and Long gets away from it. But field position coming up here for Daphne at about the 38. Good job by Passarelli to scoop that one hopper up.
Yeah, not only gets it off and he gets it downfield, it's like a 2-iron and just makes its way down where it really can't be picked up and brought forward. So overall, not bad for Spanish Fort.
Like a 2-iron on a dry links course over across the pond. I think it had a lot of roll on it. So each team's defense flexing their muscle on the opening drive, but good field position here at the 37 for Daphne. We talked about 6 state championships between those two. How about in 2010? They both won.
Wow.
They both won the state championship.
Did not realize that.
So now we'll see what Daphne does as Gabe Reynolds stays over on the sideline, and they'll go with Stephon Blackshear. Blackshear with the pitch, able to get that off to Michael Scott. Now Blackshear is the backup quarterback, and sometimes they'll bring him in there and do a little wildcat, but we'll see if, he got sacked on that play on that last drive on 3rd down, got brought down from behind, so they stay with Blackshear, 6 foot, 175 pounds, but he does take away their biggest weapon on the outside if he stays at quarterback, and it looks like that's going to be the case as you look at Gabe Reynolds.
Can't quite tell if he's hurt a little bit or if it's just a substitution.
Got a flag here on the Trojans.
During the run, holding on the offense. From the spot of the pack. Replay, first down.
1st and 20 coming up. And now you're without your starting quarterback, and now you're behind the sticks. And they stay with Blackshear at quarterback. Gives it up and dancing, but good penetration by the Toros that time as Clark had nowhere to go, and Javante Walton was the first Toro in there.
They were just keeping their ground. They weren't allowing those blockers to get to the linebackers, and sooner or later just kind of ran out of steam and ran out of time.
See Nick Clark looking over at the sidelines. 22 carries for 113 yards last week and a touchdown in the win over Baker. Blackshear with pressure coming, and he's going to be hit and dropped. Toros brought the house, and Blackshear, well, you bring a new quarterback in, and all of a sudden, Toros' defensive side of things says, all right, we're going to bring some heat.
Yep.
And Javante Walton is the first one there.
Yeah, they bring Walton at linebacker, and he's got some speed, too, so he can match up. He's able to match up athletically with the running quarterback, and down he goes. That's a little bit of Daphne getting their own medicine.
They've got to get all the way up to the 48-yard line, and now they bring Reynolds back in. They get it off on the screen play, and Nick Clark gets up to about the 28-yard line.
That's Spanish Fort football right there, Jim. You can pick out one or 3 guys that made the tackle, but they really do a great job of converging to the ball, and they're good tacklers.
So I wonder if that was just something that Daphne had planned, that, hey, second series, we're going to go with Stephon Blackshear at quarterback. Maybe it was something they had going the whole time. So they, on the obvious passing down, they bring Reynolds back in.
Right.
Beard to punt, and Hickson and Godfrey. Spanish Fort should get pretty good field position out of this one. Play clock all the way down. Good snap. Beard. Line drive punt to the 35. Godfrey wants to reverse field. trying to get up to the near sideline. Good coverage by Daphne, and they'll pull him down about the 32-yard line. And Daphne's Spanish Fort wanted a flag.
Sure. What he grabbed to bring him down in that awkward way, was it?
I think it was the way
was it a horse collar?
Yeah, the way the Spanish Fort sideline reacted, but I didn't see a flag come down here.
He came down like he was horse collared, but I didn't really see if that's where.
All right, defense has been what this one's been about so far here. Let's
just the jersey, or is it?
Yeah. Oh, he had him. They do call the horse collar. He had him the first hand, but it was the second hand that came in.
Got it.
First hand was just a handful of jersey.
Right. That's all I saw.
Yeah, but the second hand came in at the end of the play, and that's just I think one of those bang plays. You're just trying to get somebody down at the end of the play. So we've seen some defensive big plays so far here tonight. This one really got Daphne behind the 6. Walton with the sack, and now Toros get it back, and they're in Daphne territory. So after the penalty, the Spanish Fort has it at the 49 of the Trojans, and we'll see if they can get something going offensively here. They went 3 and out on their first possession, but Walker now with a good field position. He's got Sawyer Wilson in the backfield, and Wilson cuts it up, and he's got a Toro first down to the 36-yard line. He'll pick up 13.
Who's the president of the Sawyer Wilson fan club?
That'd be one Dan Brennan.
Love Sawyer Wilson. Backup running back, but he's got over 500 yards this year. He's just, again, quick, good speed.
Yeah, USA Health System first down, and because of how he emerged so quickly, now they're able to put Godfrey out wide.
Right, exactly.
Like, give him the ball in some space, and you know good things are going to happen.
You got it.
And now the Toros on the move. Go right back to Wilson. Cut it up in the middle, and he got slowed down there by Evans. Falls to about the 34-yard line. Give him 2 on first down. And so now you can bring Wilson in there. You put Nemo Hickson back there.
Right.
Wide receiver. And you can also bring Godfrey back there.
Right.
If you need to. So
Hickson looked good against Saraland.
Indeed.
They were tough against Saraland. They gave up points in the second half. Had them at 7 at the half. Saraland is they're really hard to keep down the whole game.
Absolutely.
But this team never quit.
Yeah. Hickson. Wrapped up. Jace Gibson in there. Third down coming up. And they'll bring Wilson back in the backfield here on third down for the Toros. Got to think you're 2-down territory here.
Absolutely.
Be a super long field goal attempt, but now you're at 3rd and 4 in this quick-moving first quarter. Scoreless. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Heather Healy on the sideline here tonight on the Hill in Spanish Fort, week number 6. Walker looks over. Spanish Fort, 49% of the year on third down. A great percentage. See if they can add to that here. Rolling out. Quick fires. That one incomplete. Over the head of his intended receiver, but a big part of that, he had Johnny Purdue in there on the pressure.
Yeah, they didn't draw it up with Johnny Purdue in the way, did they?
No.
And, you talked about that third down percentage, Jim, and you know what that always is. They're good on first and second down.
Yep. So 4th and 4 coming up. We'll see if the Toros, they are 2 of 5 on the year on 4th down attempts. Takes them a little while to get the play in. Still plenty of time. Now play clock down to 5 now. And Walker, this time he'll roll out to the right. Wants to come back and flip it to a screen to the near side. They get it off at the 30. Breaking a tackle up to the 25. Well, the spot's going to be very, very close. I think they're going to have it as they go to Passarelli, the tight end, for his 12th catch of the season. Daphne says they were short. I thought the first mark was short, but Spanish Fort on the sideline was saying first down, but I think he's going to be pulled down. He's got to get inside the 25-yard line, and he's going to be short.
Yeah,
Daphne's defense on 4th and 4 holds him, and that looked like that play had a chance.
I think it did. A little misdirection. I was watching the patterns on the side where he was rolling and really nothing was open. But the fact is, he was always coming back to Passarelli the entire play, and it just really good eye discipline by Daphne. A little bit short, and Daphne's got the ball back.
Yeah. At the 26-yard line, so a big stop by the Trojan defense, and Gabe Reynolds back out there at quarterback, and Nick Clark lines up behind him. Boykins in motion, and Clark up the middle, and a big contact after a few yards as Willie Anderson meeting Clark head up in the hole there. Yeah. Clark gets 4.
If you like contact in the hole, oh boy, you're gonna love playing this kid tonight. Because see if we don't see a little more Nick Clark this drive.
Clark, just a junior, goes about 215. He'll take the pitch, and now he sees a little of that elusiveness that Dan Brennan talked about. And boy, that was going to be a surefire loss of about 4, and he gets 2 on the play.
Yeah, that was great penetration by Spanish Fort, but they could not wrap up Nick Clark, who's got enough quickness to make you miss. Watch right here. He's a dead duck. That's over, right? No.
Yeah, Trip Lee was in there on the penetration, but Clark able to get a couple, and it's going to be 3rd and 3. So we're inside 2 minutes. Now they'll go I formation. They give it to Clark, who lined up at the fullback, and Clark's going to fall forward, and he's going to have a USA Health Systems first down for the Trojans.
Nick Clark
I think 3rd and 3, you're super happy with that, too.
Oh, absolutely. This kid, he gives everything he's got. Again, just a junior. Not big, not tall, but certainly got enough weight on him to get your attention when he hits you, and he's very productive.
And line him up at fullback that time.
Yep.
Get the ball in his hands.
Get it to him quicker.
Exactly. And he'll come out and take a breather on the first down. And Michael Scott this time takes the pitch. And Scott maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Urel Williams, second-year starter there, 6'5", 295 on the stop on Clark. Williams just fighting through and gets off his block, and give him 1 for Scott as we're inside the opening minute here in a scoreless battle tonight in Spanish Fort.
It's about what we thought, right?
Yeah, definitely thought it was going to be see a lot of running and really good defenses. Play clock at 2. Reynolds gets it off. Looking for one-on-one to the near side. Floats it up in the air. What a catch by Blackshear. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. Put him out at the 24.
Jim, I was just thinking that you're going to have a lot of one-on-ones. And you've got a quarterback that's a pretty confident kid. Daphne's always got some speed on the outside. And so you run, you eke out a first down. At some point, it's tough to get that many first downs in a row. You got to get a big chunk play, and they do.
20th catch of the year for Blackshear. That one good for 38.
Smooth player.
He's got 2 touchdowns on the year, and they'll keep it in his hand as he strings this one all the way along. And good job by the Toro defense to just kept forcing him toward the boundary and run out of real estate over there.
Exactly. They never got the edge.
Kenny King not happy. I think they wanted a late hit on that one over on the Daphne side, and there's a flag there. It might just be. Looked like there was a player who came in late as Blackshear was being forced out of bounds.
Especially when it happens on the Daphne side, it's hard to avoid throwing that flag. And we'll see, but a little late contact, it looks like.
Indeed it is. It'll be half the distance. Let's watch here. So Blackshear going to get pushed.
I just said the whole pile.
Oh, I think something there at the, yeah.
On the defense. After that's still to go. First down.
What did you see,
while
Jim?
they're on the ground. It must have been when they're on the ground.
Okay.
There was some
some activity.
Looked like he couldn't see what was going, but had to be because it wasn't a late hit out of bounds.
No, they drove him out of bounds.
Yep.
When they landed on him, I guess something was interpreted as over the line.
Dr. Pepper Maroon Zone. The penalty puts him at the 12-yard line after the half the distance to the goal. Like a steady dose of Nick Clark right here, Dan Brennan.
Why not?
Instead, they give it off to Scott, and nothing doing there. Landon Beach, the senior linebacker for the Toros, stops him on what will be the last play of the opening quarter. Two good defenses here tonight. We've seen a one big offensive play, and it was Reynolds. Got single coverage, went up top to Blackshear, picked up 38. And it'll be 2nd and goal for the Trojans to start the second when we come back. Scoreless here in Spanish Fort. Jim Cox, Heather Healy on the sideline, and Dan Brennan here in the booth with me.
Hey, if you love Dr. Pepper and you love cool, free stuff, sign up to earn free, cool Dr. Pepper stuff and a chance to win tickets to the College Football Playoff National Championship. Whoa, that'd be nice.
Who won that last year?
That might have been Georgia.
There you go.
Go to drpepper.com, sign up for Pepper Perks. Do it today.
Here we go. First, I was just trying to remember. A lot of stuff going on since then.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember.
I think it was Georgia.
Yeah, I think you're right. So here we go. 2nd and goal. I'm sorry, 2nd and 10 from the 12. And they go Blackshear under center. And he's going to keep it. Blackshear gets to the outside at the 10, trying to get inside the 5, and he's in for the Trojan touchdown.
I think he had a safety to beat right there, one-on-one. And he makes the move. He's got the quickness, and he's got the end zone.
Boy, so much space on that side to defend when you go one-on-one against the speedy Blackshear. Well drawn up play coming out of the timeout.
You know, use what you got, and Blackshear has that element of athleticism, and I think it's a safety. Just the island, the numbers are so hard to see, but he's out on an island there, and he can't handle Blackshear. That might have been the outside linebacker.
Yeah, 3 rushing touchdowns on the year for Blackshear. So he has the big reception on that drive, and then. Ooh. Able to take that one in for the touchdown. PAT was no good. Here was the pass that set up Blackshear, and then Blackshear goes under center and gets out wide and angles it in. And Daphne on top by a score of 6. Now it is 7-0. They say it was good. 7-0. That young man has Daphne on top by a score of 7-0 with that touchdown, Dan Brennan.
The Sonic Grilled Cheese Double Burger. What do you get when you combine 2 craveable classics? That's what you get.
Tell me.
That's what you get. And try one half price when you order in the Sonic app for a limited time only. And only at Sonic.
That's what you get is a touchdown. You get him out on the edge in space, and gets matched up against a linebacker out there. But that's tough for anybody to defend. 8 plays, 74 yards. Blackshear, the big reception and the 12-yard touchdown run. Got some help with that penalty.
They did.
Down there at the end. But Daphne on top now by a score of 7-0. Just underway in the second quarter.
A big pass by Reynolds makes the drive a lot quicker.
Yep.
You don't have to labor for first downs over and over again.
Bounding kick taken inside the 20 there, and Brock Brewer was the up man for the Toros. He was.
Maybe once upon a time these kids liked each other. I don't know that they
might
do.
like it before, but they definitely don't like it from about 7 to 10 on one certain Friday each year.
Yeah.
After that, I think they're probably still
Okay.
pretty good friends. Yeah, these two schools so close, and again, there's always that big brother, little brother thing, and then you have Spanish Fort come out and win 4 state championships and early on in their program.
Yeah, amazing program here at Spanish Fort. Really remarkable.
Walker Out of the backfield, gets it to Godfrey, his first touch tonight, and Godfrey will pick up a couple as they really need to get the ball in his hands. He is a playmaker for sure.
Great kid, great player going to UAB.
Yep.
And naturally a flanker. He can also help you at running back. But this is where he can make the big play, right?
Yeah, get him the ball in some space. That's why he's back returning punts.
See this on Saturdays too. Colleges, a lot of just extension of the running game. Passes are so quick.
Just not automatic completions.
Exactly.
And they'll put Godfrey in the backfield, and he'll get maybe 2 before he's ridden down. This Daphne front is stout.
They just live in your backfield too. They stunt, and they do things to make you uncomfortable.
There's Johnny Purdue.
Johnny Purdue, 95, only a junior.
And like you said,
great football name.
They'll bring pressure, and yeah, you think, oh wow, now we got a chance, but you gotta get the ball out.
Exactly.
You mentioned that earlier in the broadcast. So 3rd and about 5 here for the Trojans. Walker looking near side, he zips it in, incomplete. And Daphne's defense, Spanish Fort, wants a flag.
Yeah, look, I don't know about the flag. Let me tell you this though. So no, there's no sack on this play. But is the quarterback uncomfortable? Yes,
yeah,
he
Duart's
is.
in there.
He's got a
Durant, excuse me.
And the throw's actually on the money.
Yep, just couldn't be held onto. Let's go down the sideline before this punt. Heather.
Yeah, guys, right after that Daphne touchdown, the Spanish Fort defense came back on the sidelines looking tired, looking run down, but the coaching staff said, hey, keep your head up high. We are 2.5 quarters left to go here, almost 3 quarters left to go here, so keep strong, keep high, and know what sideline this is. This is Spanish Fort. We know what we have to do to get this dub, guys.
Boy, that was a quick 3 and out, and then a short punt.
Yeah.
And suddenly now Daphne with great field position at the 42.
One thing that Coach Smith was telling us too, Chase Smith, before the game, is that, you know, the guys that actually are on the field for us are pretty young.
Yeah.
So he said, you know, we're not the most aged, mature team, and sometimes we have to emotionally get these kids get their head back into the game. That's understandable, right?
Yeah. And he said even though we have a lot of seniors, not a lot of seniors who played a lot over the past couple of years.
Right.
And now Gabe Reynolds, the senior quarterback for the Trojans, out here, gives it off to Clark. Clark get a couple. Good job there by the Toros. Reed Hopkins, safety, came up to help Williams on the stop. And gain of a couple there for Clark.
Defense played great against Saraland. You're thinking, what final score? They had 35 points. They did, talking about Saraland. And I only had 7 in the first half. Once they get cranking, it's like a wildfire. It's hard to really douse them out. But solid team, Spanish Fort.
High snap. And Reynolds can't fall on a ball. Is still loose. And Clark falls on it. Wow, that was a really high snap off the hands of Reynolds. And it looked like this almost thought maybe a scoop and score might be coming for the Toros.
Just another thing we talked to Coach Chase Smith about.
Yep.
About just snapping the ball. We've seen more and more of that. Where the snaps are high, and it really does affect it. No, that obviously affected the play. But even when the snap is high and brought in by the quarterback, throws timing of mesh runs and nearly everything off.
Yeah, that was almost disastrous and almost very fortuitous. Williams had a chance to fall on it, but now 3rd and 15. Reynolds looking right the whole time. Now steps up in to the presence of Royal Williams. And that pocket collapsed quickly. And, you know, when you're 3rd and 15, you got to give your receivers time to get downfield, and then you step up, and there's Williams right there to shut it down.
Yeah, Williams was right there. I think he was warned about being a little effervescent at the end of the right there. No need for that, but Urel Williams makes a good play, and he is one of those seniors.
Yeah, now Toros, chance to flip the field. This Beard, who's got a big leg, he's got to field a high snap. Now with a rugby-style kick in, booms one over the head of Godfrey and also Hickson, and it bounds all the way down to the 11-yard line. 55-yard punt.
Wow. And that's legit, too. That didn't skip and roll.
No, he boomed that one after, again, a high A high snap that he went up to get.
That Australian style, there was no pressure from Spanish Fort, and he was able to really get momentum, and you can see what happens when he gets his leg into it.
Got some folks watching the game tonight down in Orange Beach. Pat Ivy watching the game. Now, Pat Ivy, a Daphne graduate, played at Daphne High School, was an offensive lineman. His teammate, Kenny King, had to block him each day in practice.
Bet you that was fun.
You know, guys talking about wishing they could relive their high school days. Those practices, Pat Ivy's not asking to go back for. Out of the backfield, Nemo Hickson out across the 20, and that's going to be good for a first down here for the Toros. That's a good completion from Walker there to Hickson. Roof Doctor first down.
You're not asking them to do much. These real short passes. You hope to get some blocking from your receivers on the outside, and they do.
Yeah, get it in. The sophomore Hickson's hands. That's his 24th catch of the night. 4 minutes into the second, and plowing ahead for a couple is Wilson. Gets maybe, we'll get maybe 4 on that one. So it's better than it looked as Evans came up to make the stop.
Believe it or not,
for the Trojans.
That is kind of, right now, without throwing the ball, that's your threat for a big play right there.
Yep.
Wilson just got the speed to suddenly get down the sidelines. We saw him do it twice in the Sarah Lane game.
Got 6 touchdowns on the year.
Yeah, he's a playmaker.
Oh, now trouble with the snap there. Walker then able to fire it up, but gets complete to Gottfried, and Gottfried's got the first down. Then he loses the football, but it goes out of bounds.
That thing's going around, isn't it?
That was a high, pretty good snap, actually, just not mishandled a little bit there by Walker.
Yeah, I was really surprised Walker was able to, get a grip on it and make such an accurate pass, weren't you?
Yeah, Roof Doctor's first down here is that ball was knocked loose by Cam Long.
Love Gottfried, though.
Yeah. Did enough to get the first down, and now the Toros marching it up to the 40. Godfrey comes in motion. Pressure coming. Walker evades it, now steps up. And it's back to about the line of scrimmage. Not much else. Garrett Childress comes up with a sack on that one.
He's got all the stats this year. He's a really good linebacker. You're not going to get past him. Plus his mates around him, some of the defensive linemen. It's just a lot of really good athletes on Daphne's defensive front.
Yeah, Rayner with the pressure coming in there is kind of what blew that one up.
Yep. That's what they do. They make you uncomfortable. Even if they don't get that sack, that quarterback's, they give you more than you want to handle each play. Often doing it by blitzing. 2nd and 10, as they say, back to the line of scrimmage. That's where Walker got. Now looks to set up a screen. Fires that one. Oh, you don't see a screen with a lot of heat on it. Now we get a flag right there as well. Gonna have maybe have somebody down, lineman downfield where that came. You want to draw the defense when you're throwing a screen, but you don't want to draw defense so quickly that you can't make the throw. Yeah, and then Walker had to really put some heat on that one, and see if Daphne's probably going to decline this. I would guess to bring up 3rd and 10. That's what it was. Yeah. So Kenny King says, "I'll take the down and make it be 3rd and 10." Kenny King's 7th year here at Daphne. How likable is Coach King? Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't believe it's year number 7. No kidding. Came back from out in Arizona, came back here to take over his alma mater. Brought a player with him, remember? Yeah. The linebacker? Yeah, and I think defensive coordinator as well. Yeah. Yep. 3rd and 10. Here for the Toros. Walker has some time. This over the middle of the field. It's intercepted. Picked off up the near side. Cam Long spins still on his feet, and Long inside the 25. There's the athleticism of Daphne again. 2nd pick of the year for Long. And Walker had some time, and Long steps in front of this one. Steps in front of it because it's kind of telegraphed, right? And Long, he's got the time to get there. It looked like he was at safety right there. He also plays some outside linebacker. That's the move right there. Cam Long, a little high stepping going down the sideline. 4th interception of the year for this Trojan defense. And now
Daphne at the 23. A golden opportunity here. We'll see who.
Yeah, let's see how they attack now, Jim.
And then going to come out with Blackshear back at quarterback. Play clock going to have to hurry. They just get it off. High snap. Blackshear shows his jumping ability and goes up and taps that one and pulls it down.
High snap.
Braden Walker, the center for Daphne. Not the same Braden Walker who's playing quarterback for Spanish Fort, but boy, good job by Blackshear to go up and tap that one up.
Got a flag. They almost gave it right back.
Are they going to say it was? Did he get it off before the play clock expired? Oh, legal shift.
Yeah, they had a player come on late, Jim. That might have been what the violation was.
So Chase Smith declines that one, and 2nd and 10. Now I have a texter. I'm going to. He just texted in. Remember Pat Ivy? I was just talking about watching the game. Had to block Kenny King. He says Pat Ivy would be lined up at as a defensive tackle now, not so much an offensive lineman. He said they had to be more on the defensive side. I get a timeout here. I think Daphne, just a big drive. Try to take advantage of that penalty.
It looks like points might be at a premium tonight, Jim. If you're
no doubt,
if you're giving a gift at the 35-yard line, you want to certainly take advantage of it. It's Buck. We probably met him at Ladd Stadium in 2000.
Yep. Now we'll get this one going here. Going to stay with Blackshear. Daphne having some trouble getting lined up here. Well, play clock down to 5. They're still not lined. They have to take a timeout. They have to take a timeout. Yeah, that had disaster written all over it from after the penalty. 7-0 Daphne. Good field position again. Halfway through quarter number 2.
Hey, if you want to be this week's Wendy's Giant of the Week, if you're a junior or a senior who plays football on any of the high schools in our Alabama viewing area, you could win. Log on to utv44.com, click on the contest tab, and be entered for a Wendy's Giant of the Week prize pack. Rules and regulations do apply.
Had a really good time out of there by Daphne. They had all kinds of discombobulation going on that.
Yeah, it was a good time out because there was a lot of bad things happening.
Yeah, the play clock was about to expire. You're about to get backed up 5 more after you just had a 5-yard penalty there that was declined. This is a huge, as you said, opportunity. Homecoming.
Hey, if you want to be this week's Wendy's Giant of the Week, if you're a junior or senior who plays football in our viewing area, you could win. Log on to utv44.com, click on the contest tab, be entered for a Wendy's Giant of the Week prize pack, and rules and regulations, of course, do apply.
Of course they do.
You got to have rules.
Yeah. Now they'll go Blackshear out of the shotgun. Give it off. Cam Long, who had the interception. Now they put him in on offense, and you can see why. He's going to be close to the first down. Long, who longtime starter on the defensive side of the ball for this Daphne team, and one of those playmakers, and gets 9 on second down.
The skill is pretty evident.
It'll be 3rd and a yard here for the Trojans. Just a offense has a different look when Blackshear's at quarterback.
Yep. Would agree.
Maybe he's not as much of a threat to throw it, and Blackshear will just push ahead, and he's going to convert on the quarterback sneak down just outside the 10-yard line, and the Roof Doctors first down. Here for the Daphne Trojans. This drive set up on the interception of Walker by Cam Long, who then came in and got 9 yards as they moved him on offense, as Blackshear stays at quarterback. Blackshear has a touchdown, and he'll line up, and they'll bring more as Aaron Bradley lines up now back at fullback, and they give it off to Clark. Clark slips one tackle, but not the second. Good job by Willie Anderson to make the stop for the Toros. And in the Dr. Pepper maroon zone are the Trojans. We had a lot of, brought Bradley in to be the blocking back, and Clark got slowed down just a little bit. But Anderson, the junior, gets through there and brings up 2nd and 10.
Clark looked back at him like, I'll remember that. So watch Clark. You got Reynolds back at quarterback.
Yep. Split backfield with Clark and Scott. Daphne using all of the play clock. Reynolds looks on, looking, wants to fade in the corner for Blackshear. He's got it. Touchdown, Trojans.
That was a one-man route, I believe. And he found him. One-on-one, too. No safety help. Back shoulder. Ball's placed right where it needs to be. Right, Jim?
Blackshear open, sure hands, has his 2nd touchdown of the night.
Watch the throw. He's got one guy he's thinking about.
2-step drop.
It's Blackshear, and it's away from the defender. Only Blackshear can get it, and it is an easy touchdown.
Yeah, Blackshear created some separation early on that route as well. And now Daphne going to go for 2, is trying to force it in, and did he get the 2 points as they snapped it out of the old swinging gate formation? Got to think that's something they see if they see it pre-snap. They're going to go for it, and they get the 2-point conversion to make it a 15-0 score. Purple feeling it on the far side right now.
No
Dan
kidding,
Brennan.
man. They've showed some skill. They've showed some speed.
So Daphne on top now, 15-0. Let's go down the sidelines to Heather Healy.
Even though the Toros are down by 15, it is still homecoming here for the home team. And I am here with the lovely Breeze Noonan. You are a junior, and I got to talk about this homecoming court. There are 4 freshmen, 4 sophomore, 4 junior, 6 seniors, and only 1 senior gets homecoming queen. So for you to be one of the 4 nominated in your class, how does that feel?
It's honestly an honor to be nominated by my peers. It's just awesome that my friends would just, vote for me and everything, and it's awesome. It's an honor.
It is a huge honor indeed. Now you guys are going to go during halftime onto the field, and you're going to be escorted by your dad, and it's a man that we know very well. He is our news director. But for you to be nominated and for you to have your dad out here tonight, that's got to be a very, very special father-daughter deal.
Yes, it's very special. I love having my dad beside me. It's just awesome to always have him. Yes.
Very cool. Well, congratulations and good luck tonight.
Thank you so much.
Guys.
Thanks, Heather. Set things up to the near side. Godfrey out near the 30. There's a flag back there.
Way back there. There's also a man down for Daphne. That might have been the guy that got...
That's Cam Long who's down.
Yeah, you wonder if he's the one that was a recipient of a block in the back. I'm completely speculating here.
Yeah, that flag's all the way back at the 11.
And that's where he was lying on the ground.
And that's going to block in the back. So some scores to pass along. Big one tonight up at Opelika. Opelika leads Theodore 24-13 in the second. Let's see if we can see.
Yeah. Well, that was...
Yeah, or because he went low, maybe?
I think it was the block in the back, actually, and it wasn't long.
God, how about this one tonight down in Foley? It's 7-7. Foley and Saraland in the second quarter. Faith Academy League St. Paul's 13-0. And now the Toros backed all the way up to the 6, down 15-0. Walker on the pitch. Hickson trying to get to the near boundary and nothing there. Johnny Purdue all the way out to the boundary as well.
Interior lineman giving it all he's got. Johnny Purdue.
Now if you're Spanish Fort, you're kind of a precarious situation, pushed all the way back here.
You've lost your confidence. You've lost your bearings a little bit. You've got a quarterback that is, okay, not the most mobile. And this Daphne team, they eat up your line of scrimmage for breakfast. So keep an eye on any penetration here.
Walker gives it off and losing his footing is Wilson as he goes to cut it up. And now it's going to bring up 3rd and long. And Spanish Fort will get the ball to start the second half, but boy, you'd love to get a couple of first downs here just to.
I mean, you're playing defense with your offense.
No doubt.
Keeping the ball away from Daphne with this kind of field position. Let's see what they try to dial up here. Got to be real careful trying to get this 10 yards.
Daphne has 2 timeouts left, and Wilson goes off and lost a yard on that one. So 3rd and 9. Walker looks to throw. Far side able to come back. Gets that one off complete. And he's going to be good for the first down up to the 17-yard line. Is able to get that one to Cam Jackson, his 8th catch of the year. Good throw by Walker. Good poise back there, too.
Lean Cam Jackson makes a really nice play right here. You're right. He's not pressured. He's able to make the throw, but Jackson's got to make a guy miss to get that first down, and he does. And that is a big first down.
Yeah. So we approach 2 minutes and gets the ball out in the shadow of the 20, and they'll hand it off Demo Hickson, and Hickson will get a couple before he stood up there. And 2nd and 8 coming up here, and now you see Spanish Fort was going to be in no hurry. I think, see if Daphne takes. No, Toros took the timeout on that one there with just inside 2 minutes to go after they pick up a couple on first down. We'll take a break with them. Spanish Fort trailing at home here. Down a couple of scores with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Minute 58 seconds left here in the first half. Then it's the Hanson Supertex halftime. Comes up. We got highlights, stats, other scores, Scholastic athletes. I think we got all kinds of things coming up.
Got a lot of information for you.
Halftime. A couple of the scores I want to pass along here. Big one tonight. McGill and St. Michael playing for the first time at the half. McGill leads 13-0. Dothan leads Baker 22-15. Mobile Christian leads Pensacola Catholic 21-7. Davidson up 27-0 at the half over BC Rain. Here's 2nd and 8 for the Toros. Walker looking to fire, middle of the field, tipped up in the air, and almost another interception. Trying to go to Cam Jackson, and I don't care if it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. When a ball gets tipped, usually good things do not happen for the offense, and that was almost another one here for the Trojans.
Well, almost, gets tipped so high off the helmet.
Off the helmet of Cam Long, and Al Woodard, the strong safety back there, trying to come up with that one. So after the timeout, the incomplete. Now 3rd and 8 coming up with the clock stopped at a minute 52. Walker looking to throw again, wants to air it out, wants to go up top on the far side, and Godfrey, did he get the catch? They're going to say yes.
What a hose.
But now, hold on. Now the official, the Daphne sideline was saying no. Now I think they're going to say no. Look at Jake Godfrey. So close. Looked like he got the foot in. Let's watch the F control.
Oh, no, I don't think so, Jim.
Ball was maybe moving a little bit. What great.
Yeah, it's watch the ball on the ground. See the ball on the ground.
I don't, even if it didn't totally, I just don't think he had it firm in his hands.
Right, exactly.
And so now with a minute 44 left.
And that throw got our attention, didn't it?
Whew.
Wow.
Godfrey. So the Passarelli will punt from inside his own 10, and Cam Long stands inside the Toro 50.
Yeah.
With the clock stopped at a minute 44.
One big drive by Spanish Fort, by Daphne, I should say, and also they got the ball at the 22 for that short field. They've scored twice.
Passarelli with pressure, not a good kick. Wow, this comes out of bounds, and I'm not sure that got the 30-yard line. Official walking it up the near side. Where's he going to stop? He's inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Talked about the 22-yard touchdown drive for the Trojans after the interception, and now, after being backed up A bad punt gives Daphne great field position.
Well, just look at the body language of that Daphne offense coming back on the field. They're ready to go. Gabe Reynolds, a big throw for the touchdown on the last short drive.
Daphne with 2 timeouts, 28 seconds left, and Reynolds rolls out, able to find Blackshear open, and Blackshear be forced out of bounds. He's going to have the first down.
Oh, goodness. Had a cheerleader go down. I guess she's okay. Back up. They're just using their athletes, Jim.
Getting in Blackshear's hands, another Roof Doctor's first down, and you see the confidence growing in Gabe Reynolds as well.
Absolutely.
So, they're going to yep, it's going to be good for the first down right at the sticks. Now they give it to Clark, and good job by that Toro front. Williams in there, and Daphne not going to take a timeout here. 2nd and 10. They stay with Reynolds at quarterback, Clark in the backfield. You see Williams, he's played well here tonight for the Toros. Clark on the right side, and again, Williams in there, and now 3rd down coming up as a loss of 2. This would be a huge stop for the Toros defense.
Yeah.
They let the clock keep running. Now, clock still. Now they get a timeout with 35 seconds left. We'll take a break. With them, half minute to go. 3rd down coming up. Daphne driving. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Heather Healy on the sideline.
Wasn't a turnover, but it felt like it. That shanked punt gave Daphne the ball here with a chance to go in again for the half's out.
3rd and 12. Got to think 2 down territory here.
For sure.
Reynolds out of the shotgun, went with a hard count. Did they draw him? Did they draw him off? Didn't see a flag over there. Thought they might have got him on the hard count, but play clock now just down inside 10. Clark in the backfield. Boykins to the bottom of the screen. Blackshear up top. They just get it off. Out of the backfield, thrown, and Clark steps out of bounds. So we'll bring up 4th down. Clock stops with 25 seconds left here.
Heady play by Clark right there, getting out of bounds.
They're going to try the long field goal. So Baylor Beard will come on and try. What will be a 37-yard attempt from the far hash.
That would be considered kind of long in high school.
Yeah, sometimes we've seen some
seen
really long ones here on this field. Beard's kick is up and no good. What a stop by the Toro defense. With 21 seconds left after the bad punt, their defense bails them out. And keep that series in mind.
Yep.
There's a chance for Daphne to go on top by 3 scores there. Even if they come away with 3, they're on top by 3 scores.
I think certainly they're going to emphasize a number of things that Spanish Fort needs to do better in the second half. But I think one thing he's going to plant in those kids' heads is we get the ball first.
Yep.
We're going to straighten out everything that went wrong in the first half by driving it and scoring to start the second half.
Try to get some momentum off that defensive stand you just made.
Yeah.
Because that, you don't want to say that could have been ball game, but boy, they get a touchdown there.
Yeah.
You're in big trouble.
You're in a big hole. You're in a way bigger hole than you want to dig out of.
Yeah, you're already in a hole here, but that was a big stop. Got more folks watching. Ashley and Justin Swinsick checking out the game on UTV 44 tonight. Johnny Dorland watching the game tonight as well. I don't know what the delay is here. How the game's going on tonight. See what happened last night. Robertsdale and Bryant tonight. Davidson on top of BC Rain, big. Baker trailing Dothan. Saraland and Foley were tied at 7. Faith Academy on top by a couple of scores over St. Paul's. Murphy and Gulf Shores playing tonight as well. Williamson and Blunt, 6-0 Williamson. McGill-Tulane leading St. Michael 13-0. Theodore now Opelika. Theodore was down 24-13 in that one. LaFleur and Booker T. Washington. Wilcox Central and Central Haynesville.
That's that Mobile Christian Pensacola Catholic game is a big one.
21-7 in that one right now. Sitting in Lanier and Satsuma. Jackson and Thomasville. Good battle up north of us. And you see the rest of the games taking place here. And now we'll just see Braden Walker go under center and just take a knee and head into the locker room, as you said, Dan. Would, hey, get the ball first, take advantage of that momentum on that defensive stop by the Toros, which was so huge. But Daphne with the lead by a score of 15-0. As Heather will catch up with Coach King on the far sidelines as his team's on top by a score of 15-0, and Heather has got the head coach of the Daphne Trojans.
Yeah, Coach, you're up by 2 scores. Stephon Blackshear with those 2 scores. Talk about his efforts tonight.
Man, he's showed tremendous effort. Great athlete, man. He's done a great job for us. Man, we're so proud of him. Again, they come in week and week out and work, man. So he sees the results, but, you know, we got a whole second half, man. We just got to make sure we continue to execute and win the second half.
Cam Long giving you guys your 4th interception of the season already. Talk about your defense playing tight.
Defense doing a heck of a job. Again, Coach Herron and the defense staff, man, they dialing up and doing some great things. Cam Long, again, another phenomenal athlete that we count on to step up and make big plays, and he's done that in the first half. But again, man, we got a whole nother half, and we understand the expectations for that half. We got to make sure we get it done.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys.
Kenny King was talking on the pregame show about being a little hoarse. He said that's not going to change. He's going to need some lemon tea this weekend while he's watching college.
During those practices during the week, he's doing a lot of instructing.
And last week, our Herc Reynolds player of the game, you voted on Cole Blaylock, who helped lead UMS to a 10-7 win over Viger. And I mean, anytime UMS has the ball, he's one of those guys who could take it to the house, but had to really grind him out against that tough Viger defense.
He did. He had, a lot of carries for maybe 125 yards or so.
And their only touchdown there.
Yeah, the only touchdown, and they got a field goal at the very end of that game. They had that little misdirection. He just kind of snuck out of the backfield.
Going to South Alabama.
He is going to South Alabama, full ride, so we enjoyed watching him play. Congratulations, UMS. It was a hard-fought win.
All right, we'll have 3 nominees tonight. At the end of, you think Stephon Blackshear's got a chance to be in there? I think he's going to be one of the 3. We'll give you 3 at the end.
He's leading at the halfway mark.
We'll give you that at the end of tonight's game. You'll be able to go to utb44.com and vote on our players of the game. Halftime here, Daphne Trojans on top by a score of 15-0 on our Hanson Super Tech halftime show.
This is the Hanson Super Tech's halftime show.
Hanson Super Tech's halftime show. I just heard a name from Spanish sport history. Ben Blackman's daughter is in the homecoming court.
Yeah.
Ben Blackman here tonight just to escort his daughter. Wanted to keep it real low key. Of course, very respectful of the new head coach at Spanish Sport, Chase Smith. Wants to just be like, hey, I'm just here because of my daughter, not trying to put the spotlight on him. And Ben over at Enterprise right now. I think it's their open week this week. Friday Night Rivals, Hanson Super Tech halftime show here. Let's take a look at Daphne. Of course, they started the year game we did here on Friday Night Rivals. They lost to Saraland, and Saraland unbeaten on the year, then went up and they were leading late in that one against Carver Montgomery and fell up there. You're 0-2, and you're like, ooh, boy. We talked with Kenny the pregame show about keeping this thing, going forward, and then boom, you reel off 3 wins in a row, and now you're up 15-0 here at halftime. Open next week before going up against the number 2 ranked team in 7A, Fairhope. Game you may or may not see right here on Friday Night Rival. But boy, looking at this schedule, what a win this would be for Daphne here tonight.
Yeah, overall prestige in the state of Alabama too, right? Yep. And they're out playing Spanish Fort tonight here on the Hill.
Yep, then they got a couple of region games at Mary G, at Foley. Foley and Saraland tied at 7 at the second quarter last we heard, and they close it out against Hillcrest Evergreen. So Daphne, and also you look at that after, they lose those first two, and you're like, oh boy. But then, there you are, 3-0 in the region.
Yeah,
right now.
They've certainly not. This is not a region game, so they would remain 3-0 and move up to 4-2. We're only a half into this, but if the first half tells us much, Daphne seems to be the more confident team.
Yep.
They seem to be the team that's leaning on their athletes more on the outside, creating space, creating plays by doing it that way. And I think you made a really good point about what Spanish Fort needs to do in the second half.
Yeah, you would think that we're going to want to get the ball in Jake Godfrey's hands.
Yep.
You saw the catch. He almost pulled down on the other side. But Daphne here with the lead by a score of 15-0. We look at those rankings. Auburn still the top team. Fairhope all the way up number 2. Boy, it's been a long time since Fairhope's been ranked number 2, undefeated on the year. Central Phoenix City, Hoover, Thompson, Opelika in 7A taking on unbeaten Theodore in 6A tonight at Opelika. It's a tough place to go and win.
No kidding.
Opelika, Hewitt, Trustville, Enterprise, Ben Blackman, former head coach of the Toros.
Righto.
Dothan and Tuscaloosa County in the top 10 there in 7A. And Daphne here, they've got some votes this week in those polls. You would think a win here tonight might have a chance to jump up maybe into the top 10 to see what happens as they get to enjoy a week off next week, going up against their big rivals here tonight in the non-region matchup on our Hanson Supertex halftime show. Daphne on top by a score of 5-0, and we're back after this.
Here's a message from our sponsor, Dr. Pepper.
Hey everybody, Heather Healy here for Friday Night Rivals, and standing next to me is the Mr. Keith Watson. You are the Sales Center Manager for Coca-Cola United Gulf Coast. You guys have done so much for the community. What do you find most rewarding here as you have given so much?
Well, just being part of the community is you see the lives that you change and being able to give back. This community has given us so much since 1902 we've been here. It's only fair that we do the same. So just having that impact in the community is, man, it's what keeps me going every single day.
What made you want to join Coca-Cola in the first place?
Oh man, just a great company, number one, world recognizable brand. As long as they've been here in Mobile, they've been bottling here since 1902 with the Bellingraf family on this. It's just kind of been a staple in the community since I was a kid, and just was very excited about the opportunity to come to work here.
Very exciting indeed. Keith, we greatly appreciate you stepping out and taking the time here for talking with us on Friday Night Rivals.
Welcome back to the Hanson Supertex halftime show.
Hanson Supertech halftime show, 15-0. Daphne on top of the home Toros. Toros coming in at 2-3. Last time they were 2-3 was 2007. Again, a little not misleading. You are what you are, as a lot of folks said, but their 3 losses have all come against teams who have yet to lose this year. Fairhope, we talked about them as the number 2 ranked team in 7A, and of course that was a pick 6 at the end of the game that won it for Fairhope.
Yeah.
Then they won at Blount, won at Baldwin County, lost. They played Saraland tougher than anybody else this year up until tonight, possibly. And then I think the one that really frustrates Coach Smith is last week. You're up 14-0 against Theodore. Games here, got the lead and couldn't hold on, kind of wilted a bit in the fourth quarter. I think that's the one that kind of wanted to learn the most from.
Yeah, and I think judging from the first half, maybe they didn't.
Yeah.
Again, this is a younger team, or a lot of players that haven't been on the field before, in new roles, and instead of bouncing back, it's almost like they kind of bounced backwards again.
So after tonight, they go to up Old Shell Road next week, take on St. Paul's and McGill here at Robertsdale Murphy. Then they're open in week 10. 6A Region 1, we talked all about this beginning of the season, Dan, how tough this region was going to be with all the reclassifications going on. And then you look at it like there's only 2 teams in the region with a winning record at this point.
Yeah, they're eating themselves alive, right?
Yeah, as you've got Saraland, of course, at top of the region at 5-0 on the year. But then you look at the rest of these region standings here and just look at everybody else. You know, you got the 2 top teams that are going to meet in week 10, and you got Blount, McGill, Spanish Fort, St. Paul's, Baldwin County, Murphy, Robert State, all clumped up there together. But you look at that, you know, so when you go down to 3, 4, 5, all of those teams at 2-1, Spanish Fort at 2-2, only the top 4 get in.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a tiebreaker about figuring out who's 4 and who's 5, who's on the road and who is at home.
Yeah, we'll let you explain that in the fourth quarter, how
I'll
that
be happy to do
that. Going to work at this point. So, yeah, you can see where everybody, you see who the kind of the class of the region is up top there, and then you got all those other teams that are going to be fighting for it. You know, Spanish Fort, St. Paul's, and McGill and Blount, only 2 of those 4 are getting in.
Right.
So, and there's a whole bunch of matchups between those schools in the latter half of the season here. I explained that maybe not all that clear. So yeah, that's
another thing that's interesting about this classification.
9 teams,
and you had Spanish. I should say St. Paul's playing the first time ever against people like McGill and Murphy.
Yep,
pretty fascinating.
Yep. So 6A top 10 poll. Clay Chalkville still sitting at number 1 spot. Mountain Brook, Saraland at number 3. Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa, Theodore. Again, so Theodore, number 5 in 6A. We saw taking on, I think it's number 6 in 7A, Opelika tonight. Went up in Opelika. Hartselle, Gardendale, Pinson Valley, Muscle Shoals, and Homewood are 6A top 10 poll for this week. Most teams playing out of region this week here at this point in the standings.
We did a game in Muscle Shoals. I just want to let you know, after the game, I'm going out. Check out some music.
We should get that on the list. They're in Jackson. We keep saying we want to go to Jackson.
Yeah, we do.
We want to go do a game in Jackson.
The Aggies.
All right, halftime score here, 15-0, Daphne on top. Hanson Supertex halftime show. Spanish Fort will get the ball to start quarter number 3. Hanson Supertex halftime report here. Daphne on top by a score of 15-0. Had a chance to add to that lead after a really short punt late in the second quarter there, but their defense kept Spanish Fort out of the end zone. Their defense started out putting pressure on both quarterbacks we've seen tonight, Reynolds and also Blackshear, but here it was Reynolds hooking up with Blackshear for 38, our biggest play offensively we have seen here. And then on that same drive, they keep Blackshear in at quarterback, gets him out in space, and he's tough to stop.
Yeah, and that was just a loss of containment on the outside. And now here you got
Cam Long comes up with a pick. And
Cam makes the play. Gives a little extra at the end. Now watch.
Yeah, put Daphne at the 22, and then Reynolds to, there's Blackshear again. And then they go surprise 2-point conversion to make it 15-0. And I think if you're the Toros, you're really happy with that defensive stop. I think if you're Daphne, you're a little salty you didn't come away with points there at the end of that first half.
At the very end, they had another chance and missed a long field goal. But look at the yards. Not many yards out there. Not many penalties. But it's been, in a way, kind of a flat game.
Yep.
One big play was the throw that the throw that
Reynolds made.
Reynolds made. And that was the one big play of the entire first half.
Hey, you see the total yards, just not much at all there. But that's where we're at, 15-0. Let's find out the report from the Spanish Fort sideline. Heather's down there right now. Heather.
This team to execute, they have to execute in this second half. No matter what, that's what they have to do. Execution is key, and it's their choice if they're going to do it or not, guys.
Players, bit here now.
Accountability, right?
Got the stop, going to get the ball. Let's see.
You know, when you do that, in a way, Jim, you come back and you win the game, and you can say to the players, "See, you did what we talked about. You executed." So let's let this first drive is going to say a lot.
Daphne will kick this one off to start things off there. Chase Smith, first-year coach here at Spanish Fort. Came here as an assistant coach way back in the day, and then went to South Alabama for a while, then took over as the head coach at Robertsdale, and he started up the program at Orange Beach. And now, after replaced Ben Blackman, who went to Enterprise, and now he's the head coach here at Spanish Fort. Beard to kick off, and boy, talk about getting the ball in Godfrey's hands. Here's a chance.
Yep. Well, it's a third of the game.
Yep.
So you got special teams. You're not really moving in on offense. Maybe you can make a big play on special teams because you're not making any big plays, or you haven't so far from the line of scrimmage. This Daphne team, they look pretty stout. They got some athletes and they know how to use them.
Nemo Hickson and Jake Godfrey back deep. Baylor Beard, who could not connect on that 37-yard field goal attempt late there in the first half. But ready to send this one down to our left. And we will start quarter number 3 here on Friday Night Rivals. They send it over to Hickson, and Hickson gets turned around, still on his feet, trying to break free, and he'll get stopped at the 20. Toro offense come out here with Braden Walker, who's made some nice throws in that first half.
He has.
Had one really nice throw to Godfrey up the far sidelines that Godfrey just couldn't corral and stay in bounds at the same time.
It would have been a great catch, but yeah, the kid can throw the football.
Sawyer Wilson, the sophomore, checks in at running back here with Walker.
And Daphne just makes you uncomfortable at quarterback. They just...
Walker rolls out, flips to the near side, able to get that one complete. Going to be close. The first down as he goes to Cam Jackson. Going to give him 7 where he drug that foot out of bounds.
That's the
nice little confidence builder on first down.
I agree 100%. This is the third time he's thrown in Jackson's direction. Big rangy kid.
Haven't seen, Daphne's been getting pressure on with just 3 too. They haven't brought a lot of extra.
No, their MO is to bring extra, but you're right.
Hickson gonna have the USA Health first down up to the 35. Get him out to the 36-yard line.
Well, good trap blocking up front, Jim. You saw right away there was going to be a run right over guard, and it was successful. And that had to do with that line of scrimmage.
We might see a little tempo here out of Spanish Fort on this drive.
Why
Haven't
not?
seen any of that here tonight. Walker's going to try a little reverse here as they pitch it to the near side, get it to Jackson, and Jackson up the near side. He's up to the 47, going to be good for another first down.
It's great if it works. And I guess what I'm saying here is, is this going to be, it's just, it's a slow-moving play. It's a double reverse, or at least a reverse. They're able to get it past the line of scrimmage and get some yards with people downfield.
Asking your sophomore to execute the handoff, running back as well.
Exactly.
But it is another USA Health Systems first down. And now they'll bring Passarelli in at a fullback. Bit of a high snap. Hickson up the middle. He's got a nice hole there, and he'll get another handful. He's into Daphne territory.
Yeah, Passarelli had one job, and that was to be an H-back and a blocker, and he made good contact, helped spring the hole. Good job on the outside by Passarelli, keeping that penetration at bay.
Godfrey up to the top of your screen.
Watch him.
They would love to get it in his hands and keep it to the sophomore Wilson. This time he gets to the line of scrimmage. Now he breaks it free and bounces out to the outside. Looked like he was going to be bottled up there, but instead he's going to get another USA Health first down.
Only a sophomore.
Yeah.
He's an exciting player. Again, he is kind of a big play waiting to happen, believe it or not.
Watch him just kind of spin out of there.
Yep.
Kind of lost. It's the best pace who felt out of another high snap. Fired off, and you see that, you see that high snap. It just throws everything out of rhythm, and we're starting to see a little more rhythm offensively for the Toros. And then watch the snap as Walker 6'1" had to go up and get that one and just Throws up your footwork, timing, everything.
Yep. He's 6 foot. He might not get it.
2nd and 10 here now.
We really enjoyed our pregame with him.
Yep. Nice to meet him on our AOC pregame show this week. Not a great snap again. They give it off to Wilson, and he'll get 3.
Number of blocking combinations up front. They're starting to get a little movement up there on the run game between the tackles.
At the 35, first possession here of the second half. Nemo Hickson, the other sophomore running back. Passarelli shifts over to the top of the screen, and now Walker wants to fire it off, and he does, able to get it complete. Godfrey makes a move. Godfrey still on his feet, and he's going to have the first down inside the 20.
Yeah, get it to your playmaker, but that was a long throw.
Yeah.
Again, enough arm to get it there. Watch right here. That takes an arm to get it there.
Godfrey makes the one corner miss. I think that was Island who couldn't bring him down, and so it's a USA held first down for the Toros. Impressive drive up to the 20.
Another 4 or 5 yards, right up the gut.
So if they're starting to gash you, just running the ball up front. Now, what do you do? You got to start bringing those linebackers up more toward the line of scrimmage.
I think you do, and you've got to be a little more urgent at stopping the run. But they've done it in a variety of ways. Quick passes, runs, yes. Nothing's really been big on the ground, but they've done enough to get your attention and move the chains.
Walker rolling out, looking with some pressure, stops, throws, and broken up. Cam Long there again. He's trying to get to Chris Sullivan. Just another one kind of took a little while to develop.
Yeah, he didn't see anything he liked, Jim. I think he was on a primary receiver, and that guy, he didn't create any separation. Sullivan does, but it's kind of false separation, right?
Yep. Cam Long there, and now it's 3rd and 8. Walker rolls out again. Now wants to throw it back the other way, hangs it up in the air and over through Passarelli. I like that play design.
Yeah, I think it's twice they've gone kind of a misdirection, throwing it back to the tight end, Passarelli, and I think they're 0 for 2.
Now you're going to try a field goal here on 4th and 8.
Wow.
Down 15-0. And Luke Bro will come out and try to get the Toros on the board. This will be a 35-yard attempt. Godfrey will hold it. No wind at all here this evening.
Beautiful night.
And kick is good. So Bro gets the Toros on the board.
I think they'll take that, Jim.
Yeah. Watch Bro as he drills this one in, and yeah, got it. It's a little nervous, but he got it. And the Toros are on the board. If you're not watching this game on UTV 44, maybe you're live streaming it on the Friday Night Rivals Facebook page, brought to you by our friends at Alabama Orthopedic Clinic, as we're there for our pregame show as well. Toro cheerleaders happy after that field goal. And glad to get 3 points, but I think also the way you move the ball has got to make you feel good for the Toros.
Yeah, it looked nothing like the first half. They had nearly as many yards on that drive as they did in the first half of play.
Yeah, you're right. And Bro, who nailed the field goal, will kick off. Saraland on top of Foley, 21-7. Faith Academy leads St. Paul's 27-7. 40-19, McGill over St. Michael.
What's that score again?
40-19.
Okay.
Big kick goes through the end zone. Quickly here, Dothan on top of Baker as well. Now 24-20, Opelika leads Theodore at the half. Let's go back down to Heather on the sidelines. Heather.
Well, as we mentioned in the first half, it is homecoming, and during halftime, they crowned a new homecoming queen. I am here with the brand new homecoming homecoming queen, senior Anna Thompson. Now, Anna, you were with 6 other seniors. You were crowned. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels like a dream almost. I mean, freshman year, I wanted to make it on court, didn't make it, and I was like, okay, like maybe I'll make it one day, and now I have, and it feels great.
You did your senior year. What does it mean for you tonight, senior year, here on your home turf, and getting to be part of it?
I mean, it just means everything. I mean, I love Spanish sport. It's my everything, and now I get to be the queen, and it just feels amazing.
Now, you tell us your future plans that you have after graduating from Spanish sport.
I plan on going to Troy University and majoring in business marketing to become a real estate agent.
Well, congratulations. Enjoy your homecoming moment.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
News, the homecoming queen here at Spanish Fort. Good job, Heather, and congratulations, and your homecoming queen on Friday Night Rivals.
I love it.
All
love
comes
it
together. No gain of 1 there for Nick Clark. Boy, now if you're this Toro defense, if you can get a stop, now you really feel good. But Daphne offense up here at the 21. Back to Clark. Clark wrapped up. Tripoli, the senior linebacker, able to come in and make the stop. Going to bring up 3rd and 7.
It's not like Daphne's run through you.
No.
You know, they've taken a turnover.
Really short field, yeah.
Right. You know, they haven't gone up and down the field. So you get a stop here. You're probably going to get good field position. And you got an offense that now has a little confidence.
He'll push Clark up to the 25. So 3rd and 5. So we approach 7 minutes to go in the 3rd here from the hill. Gabe Reynolds, the senior, looking near side, wants to float this one up, looking for Boykins, who I don't think Boykins ever saw the pass.
I don't think so. Not a bad pass by Reynolds. Boykins might have made a different level of effort trying to get to the ball if he'd seen the ball, but I don't think he ever did.
Boykins, the senior, single coverage of the near side, and we talked about the Toros can get a 3 and out, and it was a quick 3 and out.
Yeah, and the clock stops right there. We're about midway through the 3rd period, so a lot of things trending Spanish Fort, but still down 15-3.
I got Beard and Nemo Hickson back. Beard to punt, Hickson and Godfrey back.
A couple of good athletes.
Yeah, Beard's got the big leg. He has boomed a couple here tonight. A good snap. It's another good kickoff and fair catch call by Godfrey at the 22-yard line here, and that's where the Toros will take over. But not before Dan Brennan gives us our Andy Citron injury attorneys, Scholastic Athletes.
Yeah, Daphne High School will be Madison Hammond. She's in the 12th grade. She's got a GPA of 4.55. She's a volleyball player, honors IB program, project outreach, SGA vice president. There's a lot of stuff on that resume right there. Congratulations to that young lady. She plans to attend UAB and major in neuroscience.
Our old major.
Okay. And she's going to minor in forensic science, too.
So, Madison, awesome work there. Pitch, Wilson, sophomore, cuts it back to about the 37.
And on the Daphne Spanish Fort side of things, it's Justin Fenderson, 12th grader, 4.3 GPA. These GPAs north of 4.
Yeah.
Pretty good work. He's 10th out of 271. Wow. Baseball, honors, National Honor Society, French National Honor Society. He's in the National Honor Society in another country, for God's sakes.
That's why he's the Scholastic Athlete of the Week.
Plans to pursue a pre-law degree.
Andy Citron Injury Attorneys. Thank you again, our sponsor of our Scholastic Athletes of the Week. Thanks to Andy over here on doesn't just have a building in Mobile, it's a location over here in Daphne. Just
good point.
Not very far from Daphne High School. So 3rd and 5 here.
They get the run from Wilson to start the opportunity for a first down. Then they stall out a little bit on that last play. Let's see where we go from here. 3rd and 5.
It's a long, I'm going to call it 3rd and 7. As we look on the field. Walker pressure, steps up, able to get away momentarily, but Gibson wraps him up, and then Evans is there to finish him off. He got just a yard past the line of scrimmage. That'll bring out the punt team.
Good field position.
Saved some yards here.
Yeah, he did. I think it was Johnny Purdue.
It was.
Yeah.
Gibson able to bring him down, and Passarelli on to punt from the 25, and Cam Long stands at the 35.
Keep an eye on him. Really good athlete.
There's been some trouble with snaps, but Tucker Shirley, the long snapper, this time with a good one. Passarelli with a really low line drive, and that's one of those. It's just could almost hit one of the returning team's players in the back going down to cover, but rolls down to the 20. Each defense shining here tonight. Daphne will take back over the Toro 21. Friday Night Rivals brought to you by the Coast Guard. Go coastguard.com. Thanks for being a part of our broadcast here tonight. Also, the Mobile County Sheriff's Office, another longtime partner of our Friday Night Rivals broadcast.
Kindness Counts campaign.
City of Mobile.
Oh.
And also Greer's. They're kind folks too.
They are, especially that downtown location. Love it.
As are the folks at Barrow Fine Furniture. Thank you. They're longtime partners of our Friday Night Rivals crew.
Every time I go to Barrow's, first thing, big hug. Let's hug it out, and then we look at some recliners.
And now they go back to Blackshear at quarterback, and Blackshear trying to get to the outside, but that one took a little while to develop, and McConaughey able to make the stop on that. The junior 6'6" wrapped up Blackshear, but it was a push up front from that defensive line that really helped. It was first one in there was McConaughey, and then Williams gets you in the sleeper hold, and there's nothing going on there.
That's the end of that.
2nd and 10. Blackshear on the right side gives it off to Scott. Scott to about the 26.
4 yards maybe, 3rd and 6.
So we're down to 4.5 here. 3rd down and 4 coming up. We'll stay with Blackshear in at quarterback. He's got a touchdown reception and a touchdown run. While in here, looks over and play clock down at 10 now, and Blackshear will stay in the shotgun with Nick Clark on the right side. See if he runs behind him. Instead, he gives it off to Clark, who tries to stretch to the near boundary. Now cuts it inside. This will be a flag. There's going to be a first down, but
taken away.
Yep, looks like this will be coming back. Nice jump cut there by Nick Clark. Mike Beckton, our referee here tonight.
2 things. So on the edge of the line of scrimmage, he was in front of the Spanish Fort bench, and they're all yelling, hey, hey, ho.
Yeah.
Really a good play by Nick Clark.
Yeah, not sure if it was needed for him to break it up there too, but you're right. When you're out there kind of on an island and you just hands get up in the jersey, anything, it's going to get called. And now they bring Gabe Reynolds back in, so it wipes out the first down and brings up 3rd and 11.
Clark's fun to watch.
No doubt. Fun to interview as well.
Yes.
He'll stay in the backfield. They've looked for Blackshear and Boykins here in the situations throughout the evening, and Boykins goes in motion. They go tight formation. They'll go out to the right. Want to set up a screen. Able to get this one off, but met immediately. Bag it there.
Yeah, more misdirection. It was a good football play. It just did not work.
Fake the pitch. Get it in Boykins' hands, but he is met immediately.
Boykins at first was posing as a blocker, Jim, trying to keep heat off the quarterback, and he just slid out. Well-designed play, but Spanish Fort smelled it out.
Toros with some late players coming on the field here, and Beard. This one not a great kick as it goes high in there, then bounces back, and Spanish Fort is going to have great field position, and a flag gets flung ahead as this one is down at the 37. It's a weird flag. It was about 8 yards away from the ball. there was no return, so you're not going to have a block or a hold you wouldn't expect.
No, you would not expect it.
That's just an odd place to see a flag.
I totally agree. It was a punt that wasn't going very far and started coming backwards after it hit the turf. It did not look like the sort of play that was going to have a penalty.
Let's look. But that was, maybe there's going to be a block in the back there, but that was where the flag was thrown.
Well, that was the referee that probably saw it. Becton himself.
All right, block in the back from the spot.
Block in the back against the Trojans.
Must be, right there.
Yeah.
Well, but so it's against Daphne. Yeah. So block in the back against Daphne, the kicking team. You don't see that.
Block in the back on the white.
Yeah.
10-yard penalty.
An unsuspecting player going down. And now you've got it.
The 29.
Yeah, 29.
I'm sorry, the 30. No, excuse me, the 34.
Great field position for a team trying to climb back in this game.
Yep. Scored a touchdown, scored a field goal on the first drive here of the second half. Walker on the night is 8 of 19 for 72 yards. Looking to the near side in there. Again is Cam Long. Long was matched up with Godfrey that time, and Long's had a couple of pass breakups and an interception tonight.
That's a long throw again. This kid's got a great arm.
He's got 8 pass breakups on the year and almost had his second pick. Heather.
They may be down by 12, but the Spanish Fork sideline is fired up. Proud of this defensive effort that they just did, and with great field position they have right now, they are ready for execution, guys.
2nd and 10. Thank you, Heather. Walker gives it off in the backfield and know where to go for the sophomore, Sawyer Wilson.
The place to go was the arms of Johnny Purdue.
Said Wilson. That a few times tonight.
Yeah, we have. He makes a lot of plays for an interior defensive lineman. Actually,
loses 2.
Plays a little end.
Yeah, loses 2. Now it's 3rd and 12. Walker looks over toward the Toros sidelines. Boy, they do not want to squander this field position. It would feel like what Daphne did at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Now play clock.
Got the ball to 34.
I think we have to take a timeout. I have to take a timeout. Ooh, boy. Hate to burn a timeout in the 3rd quarter. Just could not get the play in, so we'll take it with them. 3rd and 12. Coming up here, Daphne on top 15-3. Minute 58 to go in the 3rd. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Heather Healy on the sidelines. Kristen Hinkle, our statistician, up here in the booth with us here as we get ready for this 3rd and 12. Spanish Fort had to take the timeout there. I wonder if you have to take that timeout, which you probably didn't want to do, but do you send in maybe 2 plays here and say, hey, we're in 2-down territory on this one. Maybe run 1 play, then go tempo. Here's our second play we're going to run, get right after it.
Yeah,
just a thought.
12 yards. That's a chunk. And I know what you're saying. Get half of it.
Daphne, look at all 11 up on the line of scrimmage.
They were not expecting that.
Walker takes the snap. Pressure coming. Wide open. Godfrey finds him. Touchdown, Toros.
Well, zero coverage is zero coverage. That means that no safeties are back at all. Risk reward right there. They had the right play for that defense.
36-yard touchdown, and Purdue got him, but how about Walker hanging in there? He's got 300-pound Walker, gets the pass off. Said get it in Godfrey's hands in the second half, and now a chance to cut this to a 5-point game. And Bro does that. We said, hey, all 11 up on the line of scrimmage. They tried to get home coming from the outside, but Walker saw it and went up top. A great ball to Godfrey. And we got a game here on the hill.
You know, when you saw everybody on the line of scrimmage, you're like, whoa. And I'll be darned if they didn't either switch to or call the right play.
And how about the throw by Walker?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, great throw by Walker. And it's why it's Friday Night Rivals. Hey, want to thank Hanson Super Text bring our halftime show. Proud to be a part of Friday Night Rivals, and along with Andy Citron Injury Attorneys, who have been a great partner of ours for a long time here. Andy loves being a part of the Scholastic Athlete of the Week, and Alabama Orthopedic Clinic, bringing you our live stream each week and our pregame show as well. And our Wendy's Giant of the Game might be a nominee this week on that last play that just happened there. And now momentum has squarely shifted to the red and black here on the hill, and Daphne will get it on the 20, and they'll have to answer back. Boy, I just can't say enough about how Walker stayed in there to. I mean, when you're a quarterback, you know, okay, boy, there's zero coverage, but it also means I got to get rid of this quickly because
no kidding.
They're coming.
And I've got to get Godfrey. Godfrey's got to make a move and get open, which he does. He was open by a good 2 or 3 steps.
You take a look there, and Godfrey was able to just get behind Elijah Myers, the sophomore corner.
You know, football is such a part of momentum is such a part of football. We were talking to Jay Smith about that before the game. You've got a team up 5 feeling the heat right now.
They go back with Blackshear. Now Blackshear looking to make his first throwing attempt out of the game, and this one over Boykin's head. You see that Blackshear can do it all, including throw the football down the field. Scoring drive, 3 plays, 34 yards. It looked like they were, you know, it was 3rd and 12. They got backed up, 2-yard loss to 36, and able to launch it up there for the touchdown. And now just a minute 44 to go in the 3rd, and they bring Gabe Reynolds back in at quarterback. They also bring Aaron Bradley into block. Now Daphne going to take a timeout. Now that'll do nothing except fire up the more on the near side. Chase Smith gritting his defense as they come off the field. The other side, Kenny King huddles his offense around.
You know, definitely some corrections at halftime. We saw it strategically with Spanish Fort as they're able to run the ball and dedicate some of what they're doing to the run, but it was more of an attitude adjustment that happened at halftime. Jay Smith really challenged his team. I'm sure you could tell just by the way they came out here in the 3rd period.
And Kenny King told Heather going off, he said, yeah, that's all great, but we know there's a half of football left. We got to keep doing what we did here. And at the end of tonight's game, we will have our Dr. Pepper Player of the Game. That's a Dr. Pepper one-of-a-kind Player of the Game. We'll do that tonight at the end of the broadcast, but we have got a little less than a minute in the 3rd and all the 4th to go to find out who will be that Player of the Game. Here on 2nd and 10, under center goes Reynolds and gives it off to Clark, who gets about 5 out near the 26, and will bring up 3rd and 5 here for the Trojans. They went old school there, under center, eye backfield.
Well, when you got Nick Clark, you know, that's a good guy to lean on. He got your 5 right there.
You can get him going downhill a little bit. You really like your chances there. Closing in on a minute to go in the third, and they'll line up in the same formation. This time they fake it to Clark and rolling out. Reynolds fires it off and hit and incomplete. Willie Anderson got there just as the ball did, and that one falls incomplete.
Yeah, Anderson right there. And he's able to make the play. And Spanish Fort's about to get the ball back down 5.
Pass was high, and Clark had to go up to try to pull it down, and Anderson was there in the coverage.
Nick Clark's a lot of things. Tall is not one of them.
And another 3 and out here for the Trojans, and Beard, who did not have a great punt last time but has boomed a few. This time he corrals the snap. Lots of time. And this time gets back to a more Beard-like kick we're used to seeing as it goes inside the 40. Where it bounces out of bounds. And Toros defense with the stop here. So it's 15-0 at the half. But Spanish Fort now a 10 spot here in the third quarter to pull within 5.
Yeah, you talk about commanding attention. Like we talked about, he put accountability on the players at halftime, not on the coaches. And now when he's talking, the players are listening like this guy knows what he's talking about. He told us to get our act together, and we did.
And how about the confidence got to be growing in that young man?
That kid's tough. This is not an easy defense to play against at all.
Walker gives it off to Hickson. Nemo Hickson keeps going, and he'll get 4 on first down. Johnny Purdue in there to make the stop. Boy, Purdue has played well tonight. Really played well up front for the Trojans.
Yeah, he got the pregame love on UTV 44, and he has lived up to it.
And Hickson able to battle ahead and get 4. And I don't think Toros will snap another one. They'll let the clock run down, and that third quarter belonged to the Toros. And here we get ready to head to the fourth. Spanish Fort with a big 36-yard touchdown pass. Walker to Godfrey. It's a 5-point game, and the Toros have the ball as we'll start quarter number 4 on Dr. Pepper's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Sonic. It is a big home field advantage when it gets hopping here on the hill, and it is right now. But Spanish Fort down 15-10 going in the fourth. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Heather Healy on the sideline. Vincent Early, our director here tonight. Our great Friday Night Rivals crew. Christian Henkel, our statistician, up here in the booth with us. Want to correct the score. McGill leads St. Michael 27-7. We were getting some faulty scores reported to us there, but we got that one correct on 2nd and 5. Walker comes to Godfrey. Godfrey's got a first down to start the fourth quarter into Daphne territory.
Did he know where the stick was? Godfrey's such a good player. Heady player, instinctive player, talented player.
UAB bound player.
Yes. Just knew how to play his first season on the field, which we saw as a sophomore.
Oh, Daphne. Looks like we're going to get a roughing the passer against Daphne, a 15-yarder. You can see the confidence growing with Walker.
He had a rough first half.
Yep.
This whole offense did, to be honest with you. He got some moxie to him. If he didn't, he'd have completely wilted by now. That's what Daphne does. They make you uncomfortable. They bring numbers. They bring people from angles you're not always ready for, so you get hit a lot. And when you're not getting hit, you're thinking you're about to get hit.
Yep. So he's going to take it from the 49 all the way down to the 34 on the 15-yard personal foul. And now the Trojans, who trailed 15-0 at the half. The Toros trailed 15-0 at the half, looking to see if they can take their first lead of the evening. Godfrey to the bottom of the screen. And they look to come back to him, and they get it to him. Godfrey with some space, makes a move, still on his feet. Flag down at the 30. Godfrey all the way inside the 20. Let's see what the flag is.
You can guess what the flag is, I would think. That'll be a hold or a block.
Yep, I think this one's coming back and pushing back to around the 40-yard line. It's going to be a hold or a block in the back.
Seen that a lot tonight, Jim. What you watched on Saturdays, it's kind of all the same stuff.
Yep.
And a lot of this misdirection, throw back to the tight end and to a receiver, in this case Godfrey. They've done the same with Passarelli.
Yeah, block in the back. So I'll make it 1st and 20 back to the 40-yard line. And it's not just a 10-yard wipeout. That's about 22 yards where you see where that play ended up. But it puts them back to the 40 and behind the sticks against this Daphne defense. High snap. Walker gives it off to Wilson on the right side. And
I like Wilson. They've done a good job of bottling him up tonight, Jim. But again, he can pop.
Another flag on the play here. Oh, this one might back the Toros up more. Well, they had the momentum going, had the drive going. Procedure penalty. Push him back to the 45-yard line.
Haven't seen a lot of that.
No.
Haven't seen a lot of flags, a lot of penalties like this.
No, each team had 2 at the half, I believe.
2 in a row right there.
Yeah, now back to the 45. 1st and 25. Snap over the head of Wilson. Wilson goes all the way back to his own 42 to recover.
Had a 2-minute conversation with Chase Smith about this phenomenon.
The former center himself.
The former center. It aggravates the stew out of him that the kid just can't get the ball back there accurately. Of course, you know, the center's probably thinking about what he's going to do next, who he's picking up, what his assignment is.
It's like about a 2nd and 34.
Man.
Probably won't see zero coverage on a 2nd and 34, right?
No, you will not.
This drive is looking so promising. And now Spanish Fort will take their 2nd timeout of the game. And Daphne's student body section across the way letting their defense hear it. So a couple of penalties and then a bad snap driving Toros all the way back on the other side of their own side of the 50. Thanks to more of our great partners on Friday Night Rivals, including USA Health, our friends at Roof Doctors as well. Not roof nurse practitioners, they're roof doctors. They're the whole thing. Herc Reynolds, great rental solutions, whether you're a DIY or a big contractor out on the job, they can do it. Of course, they give you our player of the game to vote on, and the city of Mobile and their
Kindness Counts.
Yes, the Kindness Counts campaign. So thanks to City of Mobile and part of our broadcast here this year. And
you know, Jim, they had it all. They had the momentum of the whatever their tradition is here at the end of the 3rd quarter. Everybody uses their cell phone as a flashlight. You have the Katy Perry blaring. It looks like it's a tradition here. You had field position. You had all the momentum, and suddenly you don't in 2 or 3 plays.
Yeah, then you had the 15-yarder against Daphne, which had pushed him all the way back in. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you started to get your penalties going. He's got the momentum going. He's got the momentum. That's got to be.
He's playing without looking at the scoreboard.
Down in front of us. I mean,
it's funny the timeout. I mean, there's not really a play you can
and you
run here.
Yeah, and that's your 2nd one.
Right.
So you just have one left. All right, all the way back to your 42. You've got to get it all the way up to the 23. Pressure coming from Durant. They try a screen, get it off out near midfield, and Hicks into the 49, so he gets a chunk back. But still going to be third and dang near Daphne heading south here at Spanish Fort as the pressure was coming. And Hickson,
he's hurt, Jim. He's still on the field. Oof.
Looking to see his right leg there.
Could tell it was Hickson right away. The fonts and the color scheme, not easy to read those numbers. But after you do a few games, you start to say, well, I know who that is. And he's a good little athlete.
He's going to try to get up here, too.
Let's see what, they.
Looking at his right ankle, it appears. And he's going to pop up. That's a good sign.
Got a brother who's a senior safety on this team. He's just a sophomore. Very lightning quick.
Yeah, it's his brother out there with him, 33.
Yeah, good to see. A little brotherly love in a moment like that.
So 3rd and 20. Actually, going to be about 3rd and 28 coming up here. The scoreboard has not been great on down and distance all evening here. 3rd and super long. Walker again wants to go middle screen, able to get that one complete, and now they're going to have a chance to go for it as Passarelli gets it inside the 35, and now you're only going to have about 4th and 10 here, Dan.
Yeah, well, they're screen crazy here, but it's working.
So
let the defense, let the pressure come in. Passarelli's showing good wheels right there, huh? A little acceleration.
All right, so
see, now you don't have a timeout. You've got a timeout, but it's only one. So in case of emergency, don't break the glass.
They're going to punt it. They're going to punt it here from the 34.
Wow.
No. Pass really the directional kick instead, just a line drive, and it goes into the end zone. So you only gain 14. Trying to get him pinned back down deep there.
And Daphne's got the football at the 20. And you're thinking what, Jim? Clock? Run the ball?
I think you got to get points. I think the way you've seen this offense moving a little bit here, I don't think you feel comfortable only being ahead by 6, because 6 that's just a precarious number.
Well, it's 5.
Or yeah.
Same thing. The touchdown beats you.
That's what I was trying to say. Math precarious for me as is reading a scoreboard. But that's what I was. Yeah.
I hated to walk you through that. Have we seen screens tonight?
Oh, the ball's loose. Ball is loose.
Yeah, I think that was incomplete. Yeah. Trying to utilize Nick Clark again. He's caught a few tonight. Well, this defense has really been lights out in the second half, haven't they?
Yeah, I think if you're with Daphne, you'd love to see just a couple of first downs. Also, give your defense a little rest. They've been on the field a whole bunch.
That is a good point. Nick Clark is usually
the first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Blackshear has been the big explosive side of things on the offense tonight. For the Trojans, and they'll keep with Reynolds. We've seen Blackshear come in at quarterback. Reynolds looks over. Clark in the backfield. Willoughby in the slot. And Blackshear to the bottom of the screen.
Time.
Yeah, now they're going to take a... Did he get a timeout called? Did they get a timeout? They did.
Wow.
So we'll take it with him. 3rd and 5 coming up for the Trojans. Been a good one here tonight from the Hill on Friday Night Rivals. Have we had some great games so far this season, Dan Brennan?
Yeah, the answer is quick and affirmative.
Friday Night Rivals, Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Heather Healy on the sideline. Our great Friday Night Rivals crew here at Spanish Fort. Spanish Fort and Daphne, non-region game, but rivalry game that has, you know, if you remember, Spanish Fort has won. Is 8-2 against Daphne. A couple years ago, Daphne won the game, but there was an eligible player ruled later on, so that resulted in a forfeit. 3rd down and 5. Purdue pitched it off. Michael Scott. Scott stays on his feet, pushes ahead, and he's going to be short of the 1st down.
Thought he was going to get there. I thought momentum was going to get him there, but it did not. He is a couple of yards short. And this Spanish Fort crowd is kind of coming unhinged here a little bit.
Yep. Reed Hopkins, I think, comes up from his safety position.
He does. Off a block. They gang tackle as well as anybody historically. That's why you win all those state titles.
And Beard to punt. And you've got, we'll see. Jackson replaces Hickson back there. Godfrey back to the near side. Play clock. Just barely get it off. And now Beard going to keep it. Did he call this one himself? He does, and he's got the 1st down. And still on his feet. The rugby-style kicker takes off and runs. There's going to be a flag after the play. Godfrey was in on there, but that's going to be a dead ball foul. It's going to, I think they're still going to get the 1st down. There's, watch right here. Beard stayed. I think Beard was hoping he was going to get out of bounds. Got a hit. Godfrey tackled him there. He's down. Roof Doctor's 1st down. So I would guess if the flag, it's a personal foul, and it's against the Toros. It's going to take.
Hang on again. Oh, that way.
One of each. But if they're
I think you just got it wrong. It was not one of each. It was one, and it was simply against Daphne.
But if it's a dead ball foul, it's going to be the first down.
Right. Look at Kenny King.
Let's see here. Watch, I think Beard was kind of surprised he didn't. Godfrey comes in and makes the tackle. A big hit there. Okay. Well, didn't see anything really happen.
No, nor did I. Kenny King does look. He does not resemble the happiest person on the planet right now.
Microphone not working, but it still be a 1st down for Daphne.
Right.
Because it was a dead ball.
That's play was over.
Right. And how about, I don't know if Beard, the punter, has is able to make that call himself.
Well, I thought you were going to say something else.
Heather.
We've got an update on Nemo Nixon on that right ankle. He immediately went back to the trainer's tables. They cut that tape off, took off that shoe right away, and to roll that ankle around a little bit. But I am glad to say he is up that table, and he is walking back and forth on the sidelines, guys. So it looks like he's in pretty good shape.
But the Toros would love to get him back out there, and now Clark gets a couple.
Let's keep an eye on this, Jim. 7:20 when they got that big play by their punter. How much more can they burn off this clock?
Yeah.
And,
the
what will
Toros
that
with
mean?
only one timeout left.
There you go.
And, boy, I was going back to that punt. I wondered, he's a rugby-style kicker, so he gets a lot of that running head start, but then he just saw he had nothing but green in front of him.
Well, that wasn't called from the sideline. If that's an option he has, kudos to him.
The playmaker, the punter, being the playmaker. Pat McAfee would be so excited at that young man.
I'd like to see that highlight.
Nothing doing. couple now 3rd and 4 coming up. Yards been tough to come by in the second half for Daphne.
Very tough to come by.
Clark looks a little hobbled.
Yeah,
there.
I think I'd give it to him anyway.
Kenny King looks on.
You've got Reynolds in there, so you might throw something quick. We've seen plenty of that tonight.
Blackshear out to the bottom of the screen. They're not going to get the play off. 2, they have to take a timeout. Now the flag. I don't think they got. Well, did they get? False start. So 3rd and 4 becomes 3rd and 9, but the play clock was down to. It's so loud. Can't hear the snap, but you're looking up at the play clock if you're the offensive lineman and saying, I'm going.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. The right tackle just took it on his own to engage Spanish Fort.
So now 3rd.
Now what?
3rd and 9. We've seen some challenging play clock situations on both sides here in the second half, and we got another one here as we're down to 2, and now Reynolds looking near side, fires and sliding and coming up with a catch. No. Blackshear said he had it. We'll see if we get a look at it. Reynolds trying to sell it. Let's look. Near side.
Nope. Looked like a skip, Jim.
Yep. He's trying to get his hands underneath it. But that was Vane Yukon giving us the great shot down there.
Great shot. We knew we were going to find out what the truth was.
So now maybe a little outside contain has been yelled at by the Toros side here on the high snap. Beard, another good kick. Fair catch called for, and Godfrey takes it at the 35.
Jim, this one's setting up.
5:19 to go. Big rivalry game here on the Eastern Shore. Daphne on top 15-10. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Heather Healy is on the sideline with another Nemo Hickson update for us, Heather.
Yeah, we might have given you false hope just a second ago. He was walking up and down the sideline, then he immediately went back to that table with that right ankle and was in tears. They cut the tape once again. He's now with an ice pack on that right ankle, and he has a crutch on, walking back and forth on the sideline, guys.
Looks doubtful. We'll see Nemo Hickson again. Thank you, Heather. And now at the 35, the Toros get it back. Touchdown gives them the lead. Walker looks to the near side, and that one incomplete as he wanted to come to Godfrey.
Trying to lay it in the zone between.
Yeah, the linebacker Gibson was there, then Myers.
There's a lot of people there.
Myers, the sophomore, as I said, had that pick 6 last week at the end of the game to seal the victory over Baker.
After the fake punt, they were only able to burn off a couple more minutes, so not desperation time for Spanish Fort, but close.
A lot of time, 5:15 to go here in the fourth. Wilson cuts it back, and Wilson now all the way up the far side. He's got a first down and more before he's brought down right at midfield, but not before a gain of 15.
Yeah, it wasn't working the way it was going, so Wilson said, you know what? I see a lot of green over here. Make some people, he's able to elude people. Good patience, too. Then the cut, then the speed. Watch.
Godfrey hustling there, trying to throw a block out in front. 15-yard pickup for a Roof Doctors first down for Wilson.
Dangerous player.
Do you like that young man, Dan?
I do.
You have since week 1.
Yeah.
Walker fires near side. Godfrey's got it. Godfrey with a move, still on his feet, and he lunges up to the 35. He'll pick up 15.
Ball player.
Yep, Roof Doctors first down.
Ball player right there.
We saw in the first half Daphne getting the ball in their athletes' hands to make some plays, and now we see it in the second half. That's what Spanish Fort has done.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said they should do, and they have.
Give to Wilson to about the 32 this time as we approach the 4-minute mark.
Mr. Purdue on the stop again, and we've said that a lot of times tonight, Johnny Purdue.
Yeah, he's played really well. For the Daphne D line. And Wilson will stay in the backfield. Passarelli there at the H-back.
Pressure.
Now Walker fires and he's dropped. Pressure was coming from the backside and it goes in and out of Godfrey's hands inside the 20.
Pressure came off the edge, and that's eventually the player that rushed Walker a little bit. I think the ball, Godfrey will tell you should have caught it. Watch the pressure off the edge right here. He steps up into the pocket.
Yeah, still got it off. Long was coming. Long's got an interception, a couple pass breakups tonight.
What a player he is.
Yeah, now 3rd and 6. I don't think they'd punt it from here this time.
I don't believe so.
Play clock at 5. Walker looks over.
Sawyer.
Now they make a last-second adjustment. I don't think they're going to get it off, and now Spanish Fort will have to take their last timeout with 3:55 remaining.
The reason I said Sawyer right there is, you got 6 yards to go to get the first down. He's probably going to get you 3.
Yep. All right.
Depending on what the defense is in.
3rd and 6 coming up for the Toros. They trail by 5 late here in the 4th. .355 left. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Heather Healy on the sidelines. Our great Friday Night Rivals crew. And it's been a good one here tonight. And Spanish Fort now out of timeouts.
Spreading Daphne out here.
3rd and 6 for the Toros. Walker rolls out, pressure coming from the backside. They want to come back to the near side, and they do. Passarelli puts a foot in the ground, jumps ahead, and he's going to have the Root Doctors first down for the Toros.
How many times have we seen that tonight from both teams?
Yep.
A play definitely in vogue.
Not an easy pass to make either.
No. And Pasquarelli almost tragically slips. Could have been a knee down and play over.
So Passarelli gets the first down, and
Wilson.
The Toros at the 22. Wilson on the right side. He's got a big hole, and he's still on his feet. Still inside the 10. Pushes inside the 5. 1st and goal, Toros.
You're welcome. It's a good player. It's a tired defense. First down. Nothing to lose. You got time on the clock. Hand it to him. Good blocking.
See missed tackles. We talked about this. Daphne defense has been on the field a ton in the second half.
Yeah, he's nobody to be on the field if you're not going to tackle. He's going to get past you, and he nearly got in the end zone.
Maroon zone. 1st and goal coming up here for the Toros. We have an injured Trojan down at the 5. And
tired defense, Jim.
Yep. Sawyer Wilson. And that is Tyler Durant. And he's up, and he's their nose. He's the guy who plugs those holes in the middle, so he'll come out for at least a play. And now 1st and goal from the 5 for the Toros. They have not led in this game.
Yeah, Daphne defense, which is a very good defense, but to your point, they're tired right now, and it's showing a little bit. Wilson may be edging himself into the player of the game conversation.
Absolutely.
12 carries for 70 yards. Big stuff here in the 4th quarter.
And how about the way Walker's played?
Yeah.
He's
very
hung in
poised.
there. Now, we've had some snapping issues tonight for the Toros. Give it off. Wilson goes in for the touchdown.
That's a kid who believes in himself, I can tell you that. Sophomore. Big game, big program.
Against your rivals.
Against your rivals in a big run. And a big score.
Yeah, you would think they would go for 2 here, because they're up by 1. And virtually untouched for Wilson.
Tired defense.
And Tyler Durant back in there in the middle of that Daphne defense, was out for that last play, but now can the Toros, who have scored 16 unanswered, let's see if they can build the lead to 3. I'm going to try a 2-point conversion here. Wilson stays in the backfield with Walker. Walker rolls out, looking to throw wide open to guess who? Jake Godfrey.
Of course. Boy. You know, Walker just gets the endurance award tonight, doesn't he? He just hung in there. First half, he'd rather forget. Second half, he and his teammates doing a job on Spanish Fort, on Daphne in the second half. This is the Walker run that set him up for the touchdown. And
as a Wilson.
Oh, Wilson, I'm sorry.
So he got down to the 5
he said, you know what, since you did that, we'll let you handle it again. And he says, good.
And that gives Spanish Fort their first lead, and that, like this one here, and just wait for Godfrey to poke free, and
wide open.
And he was going to go to the senior going to UAB, comes up with that one, and talk about a game of momentum.
Yeah.
And in 8 plays, 85 yards. Wilson with the touchdown.
You had to be a true believer in Spanish Fort to think they were going to come back here midway through the third quarter set.
Yeah, but you know how, on that opening drive, they got the field goal, got on the board, had the stop at the end of the first half. Think about those 2 drives. Yeah. Got the stop after the punt that gave the Trojans the ball back at their 30.
Right.
Held them off the board to close out the first half, come out the second half. They got on the board with a field goal, would have wanted more, but as you said, that drive to start the second half was almost as many yards offensively as they had the entire first half.
Agree.
And so
how does a deflated Daphne respond?
Could use a big play here on special teams. Blackshear gets to the 25-yard line.
Less than 3 to go in the game.
A lot of time left here. Spanish Fort out of timeouts. Daphne has 2 timeouts. Remaining here, and they have not been big chunk plays. Not been a lot of them out there tonight for that. The 38-yard pass to Stephon Blackshear. But then we've also seen him in it. Quarterback.
Spanish Fort's done a really good, well, both teams until the last drive, a good job of containing any big plays.
And you know they're going to want to be looking toward Blackshear at the bottom of the screen. Reynolds rolls out, gets it to Clark out of the backfield, and Clark does a nice job. Oh, and then gets a big hit out of bounds as well. Clark, good situational awareness there to take the screen, and then instead of cutting it to the middle of the field, cut it to the sideline to stop the clock.
This will show if it was out of bounds. It looked pretty close. Watch Clark. Gets to the sideline. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't call that.
Yeah, on the Spanish Fort sideline.
I don't know why they didn't call that.
Yeah, that should have been, but he picks up 6. Now the screen again. They go back, and Clark on the left side this time. He'll bounce it out, and Clark's got more. Clark's got a first down. Up near the 45 to the 45. Again, stops the clock. Screenplays have killed both teams tonight.
Screenplays have been the play of the game. And Clark, and the way these kids compete, it's just fun to watch.
Yep, Roof Doctor's first down. Up to the 43-yard line. Reynolds dumps it to the far side and nowhere to go for Boykins. Might have lost a yard. Maybe
Daphne's got all the timeouts left.
Yeah, just two timeouts
just two,
left.
Okay.
Yep, he got back to the line of scrimmage as we approach 2 minutes to go here. Daphne, not a whole lot of urgency yet here. Got your timeouts. Walker steps out of the pocket, looks for the middle of the field. It's tipped and deflected and caught. Bounced up in the air, and Thaddeus Willoughby, the tight end, takes the tip, and he's got a Roof Doctor's first down.
Oh, he does all right.
Inside of the Trojan 40. Watch this here. Ball goes off the hands of Landon Beach, the linebacker.
Game over. He makes the play.
Yep. Now Clark looks like he might want to. I'm not sure what Clark was going to try to do there. He doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. That was, I don't know if it was going to be a pass or what, but instead it goes back to the 41 as we're down to a minute and a half to go in this one. But that play, and now had everybody downfield, so the clock's still running, and Daphne letting a lot of time go off the clock here, Dan Brennan.
They are, but you're right. All those patterns went well down the field.
And now Clark not off the field yet, and now Daphne going to snap this ball at 1:10 on 2nd and 14. Thrown incomplete. Walker got bumped and will stop the clock there, and they got pressure in on Reynolds. But 3rd and 14 coming up.
Yeah, I think the linebacker, he had as much right to the ball, I guess you would say.
Yeah. And you know, I'm not. Boy, you're only going to pick up a few yards there. It might have been better to be incomplete and stop the clock.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Blackshear spread out to the bottom of the screen. Now again, Reynolds going to have to hurry. Play clock at 5. He gets everyone set. Gets it off. Daphne just rushes 3. Hangs a pass out there to Blackshear, and Blackshear going to be slung down back at midfield. And now Daphne going to have to take a timeout here. Kyer with the coverage and tackle, and Daphne takes the timeout.
You know, after a while, you've seen it all night, Jim, as a cornerback. You've got safety help behind you. You're going to go make a play, and he did. Kyer.
4th and 17 coming up here. Spanish Fort has scored 18 unanswered in this one. They led, trail, I should say, 15-0 at the half. And now I'm not sure why the clock is running here. That's not the case, but it's running up on the scoreboard here. Maybe they just using that as a timeout. How much time is remaining in the timeout? You see Nemo Hickson there on the crutches. Kyer had the great coverage there, so 4th and 17. This is the ball game.
This side of the field, most of the first half, lifeless in the stands.
Yep.
Lifeless on the sidelines. Anything but in the second half.
Scoreless on the scoreboard.
Scoreless on the scoreboard. Really good game.
All right, here we go.
Making it tougher, Jim.
4th and 22. Way before the snap. Kevin Brown jumped. And he's unraveling here for the Trojans. 4th and 22.
If you can make a play in this atmosphere right now.
They've had one big downfield play, and it's been to Blackshear, and he goes to the slot at the top of the screen. Pressure coming from the Toros. Fired incomplete. Toros come with the pressure, and Reynolds had no chance to really get it off and was trying to get it to Willoughby in the middle of the field. And
climbing the pocket, Jim, and he just kind of ran out of time, ran out of space.
Just nothing doing there. Wow.
That's part of what Daphne's been dealing with in the second half, is that crowd.
Yeah,
right in front of us.
What a win this is going to be for the Toros. Daphne with 2 timeouts remaining here. And how about the second half by that young man?
Oh, yeah.
He's just going to be able to take a knee here.
It's going to be some of the best plays for him of the night right here. He's excited. He's playing it out. And, yeah, just being resilient, being tough-minded, not to let the first half just get you down.
And that touchdown against the cover 0 hung in there.
Yeah.
Knew he was going to take the big hit, and the Toros rally from 15-0 down. And I think they've stunned the Daphne Trojans, Dan Brennan.
I think they have, and I think that they did it in a way here in the second. It was just, there was nothing going on in the first half. Now, neither team really moved it much in the first half, but you're down 15 in a defensive struggle. That doesn't feel good. They came out, they got the field goal to start the second half. I do like this, that they're able to put the feelings aside. Yeah, we lost the game, Daphne's thinking, but they are being big about it and shaking hands, and that's always good to see right there. Sometimes it doesn't always happen.
Jake Godfrey, the player of the game, our Dr. Pepper one-of-a-kind player of the game. And boy, just you got to get it to your playmakers. Yeah. And I think Spanish Fort did a better job of that in the second half.
I agree. And Daphne did a better job of it in the first half.
You're right, but what a Spanish Fort victory here tonight. The fireworks going. There were no fireworks in the first half for
Not
the Toros
much, no.
at all. And Heather Healy is down on the field. Heather.
Coach, your emotions are like any other tonight. Talk about this is your first win as a Toro with this rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough about our kids, our fans. I mean, we were here the whole time because of our belief. I'm just so excited for these kids. You know, we've had it here a couple of times. We didn't come out on top, and tonight we did. They found a way to do it.
You told me at halftime that it was this team's choice if they wanted to execute, and they executed for you.
Yeah, they found a way to win. I mean, they decided that they're going to put it on their shoulders. Defense played lights out, and offense did a heck of a job executing, and I'm just so proud of these kids right now.
What are you going to tell your team after you talk to me?
We can be as good as we want to be. We can be as good as we want to be. We've got to decide. We come out here, and we're about to roll. We're about to roll.
And there's somebody from Dr. Pepper who wants to give you the game-winning trophy.
Chase, congratulations, man. Great game.
Thank you.
Guys.
What a victory for the Toros, and boy, they have really controlled this rivalry with Daphne here tonight and throughout the rivalry. You know, now 9-2, and that's a tough loss on the far side of the field if you're the Daphne Trojans.
Brutal. Now, the good news is you're still 3-0 in the region.
Yeah.
So you're okay. It's not going to affect you playoff-wise. It may affect you psychologically going forward. We'll see. These kids are resilient. You know, I mean, one half to the other. Spanish Fort was able to recover.
Yeah. What a win for the Toros. From behind, down 18-0. And player of the game nomination, Spanish Fort, Braden Walker, Sawyer Wilson, and from Daphne, Stefan Blackshear. And what a win here for the Toros. Even the record at 3-3. And Daphne has a week off next week, and Spanish Fort gets back into region play against St. Paul. So I want to thank Dr. Pepper, Sonic, United States Coast Guard, Greer's, Barrel Fine Furniture, Hanson Supertex, Andy Citron Injury Attorneys, Alabama Orthopedic Clinic, USA Health, Roof Doctor, City Mobile, and Herc Reynolds for our sponsors of yet again another great Friday Night Rivals game here tonight on UTV 44.
A classic.
Toros get the win for Heather Healy on the sideline. Christian Henkel, our statistician, up here. Vincent Early, our director tonight. Our great Friday Night Rivals crew here on the hill. The home team, the Toros, rally back and win at 18-50 over their rival, the Daphne Trojans. For Dan Brennan, I'm Jim Cox saying good night here from Toroland, where the home team rallies and wins it tonight.